Yo, welcome to San Miguel TV. It's November 1st, 2025. Saturday, November 1st, 2025, 9:14 a.m. Welcome to San Miguel TV. We're going to talk about a few things tonight. And I'll have a few guests. I'll put the invite link in the chat room. I'll put the invite link for guests to actually come on in the comment section. What up, everybody? I think I put it twice. Did I? I don't know. Yeah, my bad. There you go. Yeah, baby. Damn, it's the Day of the Dead, they call it, man, Mexican. In a little town called San Miguel, a little town named San Miguel de Allende. And I did a whole little instrumental album called The Day of the Dead and dropped that joint on the day that the raid happened on November 1st, 2016. I think I dropped it on the second day of the Day of the Dead because it's supposed to be 2 days, November 1st and November 2nd. So I might have the day off. But still. Welcome. Yeah, man. If y'all want to join, y'all can jump on. We can talk about ICGJC. I mean, I'm going to share my screen anyways so we can see some things. Yeah, that's right. Yep, it is November 1st. Wait a minute. Oh, damn. I was supposed to start it out. I got it. Damn. Hold on. This is for it. There we go. Damn, my bad. All right. Okay.
Mr. Miguel, what is this? The
Yes, sir.
anniversary?
What's up? What's
We
going on?
call this the anniversary right here. So
Yes.
finally coming out and revealing ourselves, brother. We were chaos agents this whole time, infiltrators of the ICGJC, working to take them down from the inside out. It was us that gave up the info. We got the door kicked down 9 years ago, 11-1.
As
You
if
know
they
that's what they
really, as if
say.
they really needed any help exposing themselves. They were already exposing themselves.
You know that's what they say. Everyone that's out of there now. Well, they was working with the feds now anyway. It was chaos anyway. Conspiracy theories and what they call it,
Yeah.
espionage. No, excuse me, espionage agents.
Well,
They actually had a brother in charge
if you
with
have
that one time.
nothing to hide, then nothing should be exposed. That's just gonna condemn you either way. Like, what are you hiding anyways? And they're complaining, man. They're just complaining about it's what Tazadaki is complaining about or used to complain about, which is how he messed up and got with the wrong women that later ended up exposing him and going to the FBI.
Right. No,
exactly what happened.
I just thought about that made up agency that he put, an extremist wing of the FBI known as Chaos. That's
That's
just
crazy.
set up to work against this church. I remember they were saying that Chaos was at the Timothy Stansbury rally when they marched down to the
Right.
precinct. Said those were special Chaos agents up in there. He actually changed it from at first he was saying Illuminati, and then he switched them over to Chaos.
Hmm.
I'm like, boy, the ever changing doctrine. But yeah, 11-1, 9 years later. I guess it'll happen on the 10th year, the 10th year of the decade. That's when they'll get an answer for everything that was done with this raid.
Right.
Because
Right.
we were told this was going to be constant anger of the Lord for them going into the temple of God and doing what they did. It was going to be constant judgments from God back to back. He said the first one was what? The head director of the FBI got fired. That was the first
Okay.
judgment of the Lord. It's like, what does someone that losing their job have to do with you? I mean, that had nothing to do with the church. That
Right.
didn't. I mean, you were supposed to see vengeance come down, not someone lose his job and get replaced. And it's not like
Right.
he lost his job and they dropped the case against the church. Now that would have been different, but they still went ahead with the charges. So I don't see how that was a judgment from God. Yep, give me 1 second, Miguel. I just came on because I was right in the midst of something. I said, no, I'm actually not going to be late today. We're going to keep it in a timely manner today. But I got to check on something in the oven. So give me 1 second.
What's good?
Welcome, man.
Welcome.
Welcome.
What's good? What's good? Where the brother go?
Oh, I had to go and check something in the kitchen real quick. I'm still on.
Oh,
Yep. Y'all can still hear me?
yeah, we hear you loud and clear.
All right,
Yeah.
cool, cool. Yeah, I said hold on. I said I wasn't going to be late today. I just had to go and check this. I could show y'all what's in this oven, but phone in the other room. Yeah, but I'm just looking at this. It's been almost what, 10 years. And we're supposed to see the anger and judgment come down, and we haven't seen none of that. We seen Drewski there make IUIC go viral with that latest skit he pulled. We seen that. We've even seen ISUPK been getting growing and getting a bunch of views and getting on some major platforms.
I was
Yeah.
just watching them.
Right.
But the ICJC has remained stagnant, actually, damn, really just losing ground. I can't even say stagnant, just losing ground all over the place. But we're supposed to see God judging America for running up in this church. It's like, come on now. At this time, if people can't see for the sham that it was, and like I said, just accept the fact that you got God if you've been in there all this time. But
Yeah.
I just don't see this judgment. And this was supposed to be swift judgment that was coming. This wasn't supposed to be something that's years in the making.
Right.
I mean, 11-1, 4-1. To me, it looks like thing, and then the faltering membership. To me, that's like three knockouts. TKO.
I wanted to talk about. I was gonna do a video actually about like three strikes and you're out pretty much because if you look at the false prophecies starting from the year 2000, then Tazadakia made a false prophecy about the H1N1 vaccine.
Yep.
And he said the vaccine was supposed to kill a bunch of people. And when you look at what happened, they did release the vaccine. They pulled back like one brand, that made like 800,000 and they recalled that. Shit like that happens. If you follow like the stocks and what happens with a business and every little thing, you're gonna know about shit like this. And this, I think, similar things has happened to these different vaccine companies, Moderna,
Yep.
um, and
Pfizer.
Pfizer. Yeah, right. Yeah,
I mean, you had all this go on. But that should have been. How come it wasn't? They're going to release this vaccine and then they're going to pull it back. See, that would have been a complete prophecy, but he didn't even have that part up in there. And then, so you got that. That's strike one. You got 2012. There's strike two right there because 2012 came and went, and all the tribes didn't come in. The temple from the ground up. That, and we can stress that one out because there's a few more failed ones in between there too. The temple from the ground up is another failed prophecy. The Antichrist no longer being able to be out in the streets teaching no more, and they're going to shrivel up, was another failed prophecy.
right,
Shoot,
right.
I mean the list. Aradapia coming back, receiving his sight and being able to walk in, another failed prophecy.
When were they
Medan,
so real quick, my bad. When were they supposed to make it all back to Israel?
2019, a church set up in Israel, Jerusalem to be exact, another failed prophecy.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
big
that
one
was
for me right there.
2019.
That's a big one for me right there. That was blatant because he went on the Comforter, or he said that he was going to put a countdown on his own website on the comforter.info.
Yeah.
I don't know if he ever did that. If
Yeah.
we could
No,
confirm that,
no,
but
no, no, that
there
never
was
came out.
there was a good brother of mine. We call him Zerai. We call him Birdman. Zerai, seed of Israel. Zariah Sha'ala. He told me that he was there for the class when he said that 2019 was going to be like the last Passover in America, and it was going to be a big thing. Where in 2020 you're going to be talking about this big event, which is supposed to be a fulfillment of
Yep.
Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 14 and 15, where it says that
Exactly.
it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of Egypt, but the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north,
Yeah.
which they say is North
Oh,
America.
how the hell did I
Yeah,
forget the
but why
demands?
you putting a timeline? Why you putting a timeline on that? You know what I mean? Like, where's the
Exactly.
timeline? Where you get that, you pulling that out of your ass. Even if you want to
Which,
say that the land of the north is America, which I believe it's
which
actually Babylon.
which you had to coincide right with the demands. Because see, remember, the demands was supposed to come out and bring America to its knees. Let Taz tell it, and that's what was going to cause them to release the children of Israel back into the land. We were supposed to get what? All the gold from the banks and Jewish banks was supposed to be released to the ICGJC. All the prisoners locked up in America right now were supposed to be released so they could go back and be the warriors on the borders of Israel. What else? I mean, there's quite a few that just goes with all these failed prophecies, and it's like people still in there, just still waiting. It's
They
really
talk,
kind of just pathetic at this point.
they talk big, man, but it's like, how do you mop that shit up? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
you
They need
guys
some
that are
heavy demands.
like you brothers that are in there, like, are you not honest enough with yourself to see like you guys was in there, you guys was in the trenches.
Mm.
You know, I'm just saying, like, man, the people. I understand indoctrination. I understand the fear of, like, man, if I leave this thing right here, then I might get hit by a diesel or a bus. I understand that fear that they try to put in you, but there's too many freaking failed prophecies. And the dude, I noticed Tazadakia, he would say things like he's saying something big, like there's gonna be anarchy, you know, after, like, that's a fucking blanket statement, man. You know,
Exactly.
it's whack. And then, like, when something happens, there's always something happening. You know, then you're gonna, oh, I prophesied that, you know, get out of here, man. That's sweet.
Yeah.
No, no, it's supposed to be pinpoint accurate. Even the missiles that's supposed to hit a major American city, we forgot about the missiles. That was another failed prophecy. That's supposed to hit
Missiles.
Baltimore.
Wow.
Yep, that was
Wow.
supposed to hit
That's
Baltimore.
one that there's no. I don't know if there's like a video of that, but I've definitely heard
Like I
that.
said, I
Yeah.
don't can't even give them the credit of saying you're afraid, you're indoctrinated. You're really just
Right.
full of it at this time to be up in there. You're trying to hold on to some type of lifestyle or some type of easy laid back route that you got at this point now. You're collecting some check or something because there's no way you can sit up in this BS and really tell yourself I'm in the truth. And I just damn
Right.
shot off like 10 failed prophecies. And the reference that you go by within your own record that you say you believe in tells you if this man speaks a failed prophecy, he speaks a prophecy and it comes not to pass, but fear not that prophet. He has not been sent from the Lord.
Deuteronomy
That's
28.
Exactly.
God.
All
Deuteronomy
right, let me
28.
say this.
Come on.
That right there, what you just said, brother, is I still claim the Israelite thing, right? And I meet guys on social media that, they've been in this thing for 10 years, a part of HOI and, all these different organizations out there. That's fine. I was having this conversation. The brother was asking me, like, why don't you subscribe to the 12 tribe chart? I said, well, number one, I said, when I was in ICUPK, Ariyah, he was the one that was pushing that Yahweh Shai Hamashiach was going to return by or before the year 2000, right? So
Mhm.
this dude right here, like the scripture you just said, I'm holding him accountable for what the things he was saying. He was a powerful teacher back in the day. That's cool and all that. But I'm gonna call an ace and a spade a spade. You said that Jesus was going to return before the year 2000, but it's about to be 2026.
Thank
So
you.
I'm just saying, so like when I tell brothers, that it messes them up. Like, how can he still claim to be an Israelite, but yet he's shitting on our elder? But I always label him. I call him for what it is, a false prophet by definition. I'm just saying. Oh well, he got that. Not only he was teaching that, other brothers was teaching that, and I don't give a damn. Then all of them are false prophets. I'm just saying, like, according to the logic of it.
Yeah, if you're going by
Oh,
that
Right.
logic, I say that. But I always ask people if those were the false prophets, then who are the real prophets? I just say there was a bunch of niggas that was wrong and had wrong information, lying hustlers that eventually realized what they was teaching was some nonsense and they kept the charade going.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They ain't no goddamn prophets.
So yeah, I don't even. I mean, I understand where some brothers is at with that, and that's cool. I just say like a lot of that stuff you can't prove it. You can't prove what era and time we're in. You can't. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
if you're still going
We,
into that, we are the Jews and the Israelites. Who is the Lord using to revive the nation right now? Because it ain't none of these camp dudes right now. So
yeah.
I'd be curious.
They remind me of the Pharisees of the New Testament because they're just about. I'm just like when I'm reading. I don't read like I used to, but that's who they remind me of. If they're going to fit any type of characteristics, it's because they're so hung up on law, statutes, and commandments. They're like, it's like, damn, you're not even really. You put so much on being an Israelite and following carnal laws. You're not even teaching men to try to clean up their inner man. You're not teaching brothers, fruits of the spirit. It's always, fringes and beards. But see, I will say
They
this though.
focus. They
Go ahead.
focus on the hate a lot for sure.
Yeah, that's whack to me. Like that's not that's. I mean, it was cool for a time period. Romans 9 verse 13, and then Esau's the end of the world and the apocrypha and all that. But all that to me don't mean shit if you're not really trying to, like, as a man, like to serve this higher power to become a better person. It's like you got worse, man. Where you just like man, get away from me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, I mean, if you go into saying that they were the modern Pharisees, I just say when you want to play roles in the Bible, yeah, you can fulfill roles, but I don't even consider them dudes Pharisees. Once again, just a bunch of evil men with wrong information, but it all became a hustle. Everything became about man made orders, just like what Christ was saying. If you go by that book, it just shows you even more you're in the wrong place because everything became about man made orders. I mean, when did
Man,
it
for
become
real.
mandatory to come to a picnic and pay $60 to come to a picnic? These aren't
Yeah.
high holy days. You're forced to come and pay for you and your family. 25 60 for any adult and $25 per kid. And you're forced to come. Those are orders of man. That has nothing to do with God. You can't quote forsake not the assembling of yourselves up on that one and say that applies to the picnics. But that's what they do. They just interject and twist doctrine. A lot of that stuff people have to understand. The moral concept of it is fine, but you're not fulfilling those times where you're held to certain standards and orders. Like sometimes when Christ and the apostles were talking to the audience, they were talking to just them, the audience. It doesn't apply to you. Like that's where people mind has been twisted where they think this is just something that echoes on. And it's like, no, bro, there was a listening audience that this stuff applied to.
Hmm.
Some of you shall not taste of death till you see the Son of Man coming in the clouds meant what it meant. This
Right, right.
generation shall not pass meant what it meant. You can't try and stretch Armstrong that stuff out like what people are doing.
Yeah.
They're playing with your mind up in there and using the words of a book to twist understanding.
To manipulate you, to control you.
It's really that simple. I mean, there's just the history, the story, the literature, the poetry. It's a beautiful book if you want to read it that way. But stop trying to throw yourself in the script. You are not those same people. And then if you want to go by that, it tells you not to get into all the genealogy. What are you doing?
That's that. See, look, that right there is why I just simply tell, because I can't prove that I'm an Israelite, and I'm honest with it. You know what I mean? I
You
mean,
you would
it's
have to
faith.
say, I believe I'm a descendant of the Israelites, but once again, that still doesn't make you the same.
It
That's
doesn't.
what people don't understand.
It doesn't. Here, I'm honest enough to say that I've been wrong in the past because I've taught wrong stuff when I was a part of ICUPK, ICGJC. So that alone in itself is humbling. Going back to the brother that I was talking about, cool person, man. He's 61 years old, so he's a little bit more mature. I can deal with him. But what I was trying to tell him is that, like, I don't believe. I'm not saying that Jesus Christ wasn't a black man. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is your book, you using Revelation 1 verse 14 and 15, 13 through 15 to say that's a black man right there. I'm not getting that. I don't want to bust your bubble disrespectfully. I don't. Even all the scriptures that they use, I'm honest enough with myself now because I've grown to look at it and think for myself and be like, nah, I'm rooting for the black man and I've been rooting for him, but I'm like, nah, bro. Now all they're gonna say is, Puerto Rican brother, Ephraim Vex, yeah, brother fulfilling prophecy,
But
bro.
but
Man,
but
shut
some
the
but
fuck
some of these things I'm starting to
I
see
mean, that's what I'm trying to say is the
like
whole
some of
thing
these
will
things are
drive
just
you into
movements,
some madness. You're
Like
putting titles on people that you can't prove. These are just imaginary code
yeah,
names for the people that's in that mind frame right now. But the rest of the world is not looking at these people. So here we know that those are Ephraimites, but we have them confused, calling them Puerto Ricans. Like the world is not thinking that way. And they done thrown people brothers in the delusion thinking that the world is really that focused on these 12 groups of people in the earth.
yeah.
That's an American concept that the rest of the world is not focused on.
But that you already know since you was in the cult, well, brother, that we're not of the world, brother. Blessed are your eyes for they see, and blessed are
Yeah.
your ears for they hear. You
Now
know
you,
what I
you,
mean?
you yeah, you was cursed like hell believing that shit. Cursed like hell.
They're gonna use every book, chapter, and verse they can to try to manipulate you and one up you.
I mean, I'm just thinking of all those false prophecies that was just named off. Like How do you really explain that to somebody that knows what you teach?
Hmm. It's like the Wizard of Oz. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. Now, come on, brother. We read this right here. Read this right here. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. Try to
Hmm.
take your focus off somewhere else. When you address what you guys witnessed, you was there. You're honest enough. So what's crazy is the brothers that are still in there know this, but somehow mentally, but how do you do that? Like, I think, what are they doing? Just looking at you because of a doctrine? Oh, you're a rebel. Purge out the rebels. You're an antichrist. That's how we're going to reason. So anything that you say, we're not going to listen to you. It's of the devil. You're of the world. You're a branch that broke off. Is that how they reason still? Like, that's fucking stupid. Excuse my language too,
Pretty much. I mean, that's the only defense you could mount against someone that was up in there. But a lot of them brothers know and sisters know that people that left were actually a lot of good brothers and sisters that left or got put out too, though. They know that part
Absolutely.
too, though.
I know a lot of people are in there genuinely, sincerely trying to search out their higher power, while these men are under some strong delusion, believing that the I don't damn that they are Tazadaki is the comforter. That's just crazy.
Hmm.
I mean, but I too used to believe stuff like, when I came in, we'd always say, I'd like to give double honors to my elders, Chief High Priest Ariah, Chief High Priest Shar, Chief High Priest Kazak, and Chief High Priest Yeshaya. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And 1941 Madison Avenue, New York, New York. Like, we down here in Oklahoma, bro. You know what I'm saying? We'd send up curses, and Mayor Giuliani. I'm 19 years old, I think, 18 years old. Like, I don't even, who the hell is Mayor Giuliani? I'm from Oklahoma. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Posse Kamatazi,
Yeah,
them
that part.
workers of witchcraft,
Hmm.
them the Amalek Defense League. Like Amalek Defense League, isn't it the Jewish Defense League?
Oh,
I'm trying to think of
oh
who
man.
else. Yep.
Oh my
Giuliani
God.
was up in there for a second. Giuliani still ticking.
Yeah, he was supposed to die, and they were trying to say when he got diagnosed with some type of cancer, which he beat that cancer. They
Yep.
said that that was God fucking with him or something like that, cursing him because of what he said that they tried to come against the church directly. Like, some, I don't
Right.
know, he's probably just saying that, it was probably just some stupid little thing that they're, some violation that maybe the building code or something. There's always something, especially when you got to deal with property. And he probably just interpreted all of that as, oh, the city of New York wants to shut us down. And it's like, dude, you trying to run a restaurant with all type of health code violations called Jacob's Cafe up in the church, and try to sell food to people, and you don't have no regulation of what food, where you getting this food from.
Right.
Is it being served? Is it being kept in the right temperature? Nobody's keeping track of that. Like, it's not, at least it's not legal. But what's legal, like, we could go to all of this stuff. The indictment, the 30-page indictment, exactly where the money was going. He's using the income from the church, trying to use it as his personal income. When you do that, you're supposed to show that you're getting paid by the church. So instead, he
Right.
tried to go around that and try to create a fake entertainment company called Black
Black
Icon
icon.
Entertainment, BIE, Black Icon Entertainment, and
I
and try
remember
to make it
that.
seem like he was successful because of this, and this is where he's getting his money from. But all that money was coming directly from the church, and he wasn't even paying some of these artists that would perform, at some of these events, Passover. It was like all types of talent shows and stuff, and it's a talent show. Nobody's gonna pay you for a talent show, but it
Yeah.
used to be like performances. People used to go all out for these talent shows, man, leading up to this stuff, man. And
Oh
then they
yeah.
devoted so much of their
Rehearsals.
life.
Yeah.
It
Was you
became
there
a
when
whole
they were
culture. It
calling?
became a whole lifestyle.
Were you there when they were calling people up like to come up to New York to audition for rehearsals and all that type stuff?
Yeah,
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 because you had
yeah.
you had you had to audition and make the cut to be in the summer jam. You couldn't just step on the stage and just say, I want to display my talent for the nation. Like you had to be hand picked to perform at
Right.
the summer jam concert. And you had
Yep.
people coming up from out of state, coming up for rehearsal, practices, and all
Yep.
types of crazy stuff.
I've met
And
people
then
from
selling a bunch of
Oklahoma.
cheap
I've met
merchandise.
people from like all over the United States because of this place, and it was becoming like a big extended family to me in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And then just things happen, man. I came across certain things that changed my mind, man, and I couldn't be stupid. And that's what a lot of these people are still doing in there. It's like you're being ignorant. You're
You,
selectively like,
you're not you're not
yeah,
sincere staying up in there at this point. I don't care
not at
what
all.
they
You're
say.
not
You are
sincere,
not.
man.
You're not God fearing. You're not none of that. You're afraid of having to face the fact that you got duped. That's what it is. So
Yeah,
no,
right.
I don't give people no credit on. There's some sincere brothers up in there still, and they just don't know. The kids, like a sister be telling me constantly, the kids. Yeah, I give the kids. I used to not give the kids no slack either, but I give the kids a pass because they don't know no better and they're stuck under the authority of their parents. But you adults that's up in their 20s and up and all that stuff, no, y'all are really tweaking at this point. That's really all it is. You are holding, they know they're
Hey,
holding onto a lie at this point.
well, but what kept you in there? Because by that same logic, I left in the early 2000s, maybe 2005, give or take, in Oklahoma
Oh,
City.
I got
But
an
see now, hold
easy
on,
answer
hold on,
for
hold on,
you.
hold on, hold on. All right, but let me get it out though. Let me get it out because people listening, right? I was looking at y'all like that when you were still in there. Like, how y'all look at this nigga calling himself the Holy Spirit? Put y'all's twist on that scripture when the Bible specifically says that the Comforter is the Holy Spirit. So me, I'm looking at you. You know, not you because I didn't know you, but
Oh,
you
no, but
niggas
I
that
got
are
an
in there.
answer
Hold on,
for you,
hold on. Let
though.
me get it out. Let me get it out. I'm looking at you niggas like the same way you're saying that about those dudes that are in there now, right? I'm looking at not you because I didn't know you, but I'm looking at niggas that are in there like that too. Like there ain't no damn way you literally believe this dude right here is the Holy Spirit. There ain't no. You gotta be just by that same logic. What you saying? I'm sorry, I'm kind of sick too. Now go ahead, brother.
Oh, no, you
Yeah,
good
I
because
think.
I got to answer your question. I'll let Miguel go first.
Yeah,
Now I'm
I
talking to
think.
you.
Okay, okay, okay.
No, no, no. Go ahead. I'll just.
Oh, you give me the floor, Miguel? I give you, it's a simple answer for me. When I came in at 21, by year 22, I was still running the streets. I got shot. See, had I not got shot and injured to the degree I did, there's no way I would have stayed up in there all that time. I just know that. But once your mind goes through a traumatic event and you're looking for answers, that will keep you
Absolutely,
in that type of delusion. So it was, I
absolutely.
realize now it was a total mental thing. Like I said, you got shot and damn put in a chair at 21 going on 22 years old. That's pretty
Yeah,
young. And you're hearing from some dudes, well, brother, you know, the Lord don't be playing, but you're
and
in the
they
right
talking big,
place. Because,
right?
you
They're
know, the
talking
Lord's getting
big.
ready to heal and
Uh,
all that stuff. And this was meant to be and all that, brother. But don't worry about the Lord and all that. So, yeah, brother, at 21, you going to try and ride this thing out. Like, know what? Maybe this was God,
I
damn,
understand
doing
that.
this. And now I got to go through what I got to go through to reach the healing. But now
Yeah,
it's like, brother, I'm a grown man. I don't have time for fairy tales and damn kid stories no more. I damn
yeah.
realize what happened and it is what it is now. I'm out of this place.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play with you, brothers. Chair or not, brother, there's still a life to live out here. And that's why I
So,
look at
so,
certain brothers like you got people in there really wasting their full life in that
but
place
let
when it's
let
like you
me
got a
let
lot you
us.
could be doing.
We have to break down the timeline of when this thing became a Tazadakia only type of thing because
And that's a good point.
like that doctrine of the Comforter. When I came in, all right. So when I first heard this thing, my cousin who's in the IUIC, Jesus, he's an IUIC member, as far as I know. I don't know what's going on, but I have family that been in this shit, since 1 West 125th Street, which I also attended class, when they were called the ICGJC. But this was the first time I ever heard the 10 tribes, the 12 tribes, and all of that stuff, and Simeon and Levi and Judah. And I would always hear it here and there in songs. I would hear the Fugees and Nas and different artists that I would listen to vaguely, like, just kind of mention these things about Hebrew Israelites. And Killer Priest was one that was so obvious. I didn't even catch it back then because, I just wasn't in tune with it that good, like I later became. But when I came in, like, officially to the ICGJC in 2004, they didn't push the Comforter doctrine as one of the main doctrines until later on.
Hmm.
They were kind of trying to hide that in a way, just like they were
Right.
trying to hide the 20% shit and the having more than one wife thing. That was something that I learned later on. Like that's not something they come to you right away. So
Right.
one of the first things that attracted me was the 12 tribes sign, and that I'm Dominican and the Native Americans are the Israelites, and because you could actually find books where there were Europeans coming over here and they were saying those things, right? Like they were like, there's evidence, and these books be worth like $1,000 right now, $800. There was a book that I had that my cousin let me borrow, and I gave it back to her. I looked it up later. I'm like, that shit was worth like $500. I knew it was worth a lot, but I just wanted to give it back because it wasn't mine. And even though I didn't believe in it anymore, I could have still used it as evidence of something. It's worth something.
Right.
And those books is like has historical value, but this is what's called anecdotal evidence. When you look up what's anecdotal evidence, it's just a type of evidence that's just an experience that somebody had, or a story that somebody told that they heard about something that's supposed to be true.
Mm.
And this is what you have when your claim is being made, that is an actual genetic claim, and when you say that you're an Israelite. So I thought I didn't really fully understand what I was doing when I was coming to these conclusions, but I knew I believed in the Bible. My family raised me to believe in that. So when they started coming at me with the Bible, and they showed me Romans 9:13 and Deuteronomy 28, it was just one after the other. And I was like, yo, this is a lot, and I want to learn all of this and make sense of it. And later on, man, it took for me to realize that just the cult that I was in, even though they teach Hebrew Israelite doctrine, it don't matter. There's different groups that will teach different things. Once I learned that was false, I don't know. I just got on this rampage and started realizing, well, what else is false? A lot
Right.
of things was connected to one belief, and I was like, believing this because this, and it was like, I was like, I had to go back to the source, and cutting off the 10 tribes and that whole Arsareth thing right away, and even the
Right.
Apocrypha. I started realizing the Apocrypha is off. The
Yep.
Apocrypha is not so accurate. There's so many things in there that's just like, it's just not verified, and that's what the whole Bible to me really is. I mean, some things are accurate, but when it comes to prophecies, I've seen people just use any single event to try to relate it, and that's what I saw.
Exactly.
That's what the ICG is trying to do right now. I mean, the last videos that you'll see of them trying to blow up, they're trying to be relevant by showing that Tazadakia supposedly prophesied about these uprisings in the UK, and like these people don't even know what's going on right now in in
Oh,
in, in
my
Ireland
bad.
and
You,
in Britain,
you
Great
had
Britain.
mentioned it.
Like,
You
these
had
people have
mentioned
no
it.
clue what the argument and what the politics and what the culture war is actually really about, because that's what's going on.
Another failed prophecy is everyone not in the truth is supposed to starve too. So you gotta remember that one too. See, Trump done that, cut everyone off. So all I can eat is baked chicken right now and toast, y'all. But
Nice.
I don't
we're
know,
supposed
brother.
we're supposed to
Nice.
be starving right now. So
Yeah.
You didn't get your food stamps,
no, my stamps been cut off. But
brother. That's prophecy fulfilled.
somehow I'm still eating though. So yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It's just constant. I don't know at this point. Like I said, I strongly believe people are just in there because they don't know where else to go after this. Because right now stuff looks crazy, but it's like we just got isolated. When you really look at the past 10, 15, 20 years, some people done put up in that place. All the stuff that's been going on in the world has really been going on. The world has been moving without you. They just damn. made up their own narratives as they was isolating you. They was giving you the narrative of what was going on in the world, and that just
Mm.
wasn't it.
Hmm.
And now you come out and you really realize, like, man, we was really tripping up in there, man. And it's all based off of isolation, which is what most cults do. And
Yeah.
once they see that you don't really have a lot of resistance, you ain't got a lot of family that's coming and protesting against the place and all that, they realize that they kind of got you. Once they've isolated you from your normal family routines and all that stuff, that's when the heavier indoctrination starts.
Hmm.
Kind of like what you were just saying. They went and seen how far they could get away with starting to put themselves up as chief high priest, apostles. Then now we have this special apostle above the other ones called the Comforter. Now we
Right.
only have the truth. Like that's it's called gradualism. They continually, slowly slipping it in.
Right.
Yep. And as soon as you hear that, you got brothers doing that too. The mighty Khan.
That's just
I
crazy.
seen Miguel in Florida. He walked up on some group. I don't know what happened, but when you left, you said something like, "Calm, brother." I forgot who. I forgot what they were saying to you, man.
Right,
It
right.
was like about 2 months ago.
Yeah,
Was
yeah. I think
that
that's a group that became another group now. This used to be Watchmen for Israel, and now the
oh,
dude,
them
the
dudes.
leader for Orlando, Watchmen for Israel, turned that whole Orlando group, or maybe part of that group, into something else now. I don't even know what they're called. I've seen him out here in the supermarket that I go to, and I've walked up on him twice now. I think like this is the second time. Yeah.
It's like y'all have no loyalty to the organizations y'all join, anything anymore. It's
Yo,
just
hey,
Yeah.
not.
see, here's what I tell brothers. Brothers talk to me because they still put me all brothers in Israelite. Shalom, shalom. Hey, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shabbat. I'm like, listen, man, that's so old to me. I don't do that anymore. But I mean, I can speak your language if you. But here's what I'm trying to say though: is I heard when DMX was alive, he was asked about Kendrick Lamar. Now DMX, he was like, I don't even know. He was on Hot 97 or something. He was like, I don't even know who the brother is. Like no disrespect to him. And so me coming in from the ICUPK to the ICGJC, it's hard for me to keep up. Like I don't mean no disrespect to the Israelite dudes, but goddamn, it's a break off after break off after break off, and then brothers went over here, went over there, went over there. I'm like, after a while, that shit gets old, man. Trying to keep up with the ABC groups.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
that's how I feel. Is how DMX was. You know what I mean? Like anyway, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Which shows you even more there's no unity. How is it that you can't work out your issue within the group and continue going on, but all these groups reach their boiling point where they all break off into another group?
Hmm.
I mean, it
Too
makes no
many.
sense.
I think it's too many chiefs and not enough Indians. I think brothers be wanting positions and powers, and then they want brothers to be up under them, and then it's the same old story.
No, the
Me,
problem is you got a bunch of Indians following Indians. That's the problem. Ain't no chiefs amongst these dudes.
the
These dudes
blind
are
leading the
not
blind.
these dudes are not qualified historians. They're not ordained priests, none of that. So it's like, what are you doing?
No, that's
There was
facts.
there was never a time in the restoration of Israel, if you feel you're fulfilling prophecy, where he made self-proclaimed priests and prophets.
Hmm.
You damn playing make believe. That's
That
all these
part.
dudes is playing.
That what you saying right there. When I be telling brothers like it's elementary, it's not real, man. It's pretend. It's like when we was little kids in the car and shit, and then you see a Lamborghini and you tell, "Oh, I got that one. I got that one." That ain't your Lamborghini. It's pretend. It's the same
Right.
shit as like these dudes in here trying to fit themselves in a book and try to, be prophets and apostles. Like, nigga,
How are
y'all
you a
pretending.
how are you a captain of
5,000.
5,000 when there's not even 5,000 people in the ICGJC?
Right. Or any fucking or one of
I
those
I can
organizations.
I can literally dang bet on that there's no more than there's not even 5,000 people in the ICJC right now. Bet
Nah.
on that. They do
No,
not have those numbers.
no, hell no.
They're probably pushing at the most 2,800, maybe 3,000 at the most,
Including children.
including men, women, and children. And see,
Oh,
now they'll tell you it's not about the numbers. It's not about the numbers. You wasn't saying that when we was bragging about how we're the biggest of all these different camps.
yeah.
So
No,
that's what I'm saying. It's just the ship has steady as she goes. The ship, and the captain have already sank.
right.
Mm.
Like I said, if people really want to keep wasting their life and time, I mean, that is the place for you. That's about it.
Yeah. I mean, we could show so much shit. I
Yeah, you
wanted
gotta
just
just
to share my screen.
let me throw get some food in me real quick, and I'm actually kind of
Yeah,
just
go
getting
ahead.
started because even with the little chaos situation, like I said, I might pull up that DVD and play some little clips of that real quick just to show you the nonsense that was being taught. Because I started to
Right.
toss all my DVDs. I'm eventually going to get rid of all these things, but there's so much good shit up on here that
I
can be
say keep them.
used.
Yeah, no.
That's testimonial, man. Like I threw a lot of stuff away from the early 2000s. Like I used to. I mean, you can find it now on YouTube. But like the Jerry Springer, the brother, the Tazadakia, Shar, whatever. The dudes on Jerry Springer, just shit like that. I had a lot of gems, a lot of old videos that at some point in
Mhm.
my life I was like, man, fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? My
Right.
resentment.
Right.
Gave away a lot
I
of
mean,
books.
I sold some of mine.
He said he gonna make a buck off of this shit, right?
That's what I was trying to do.
That's what ICGJC taught y'all to do. Buy the truth and sell it not, brother.
Yeah.
Nah, but real
Yep.
talk though, because I gave books away that was like I gave History of the American Indians by James Adair. That's like a $65 book. Shit, I could use that right now because I just lost $600 in the casino.
I need to look and see. I think I got that book. $600. That mug's going straight up for sale on Marketplace
Yeah, that book ain't
or
worth but
Amazon.
$65.
Oh, okay. No, because
Yeah,
I still got the Russian icons.
Y'all could see that video right here.
Uh,
yeah,
What
it's
is it
buffering,
loading?
but yeah.
Yeah, it's loading up. Okay.
oh, hold on. Okay. I was gonna say, what am I looking at? Hide you on YouTube.
Okay. Hold on. This is all right, let me start it. Let me introduce this video. This is actually a Rebel Alliance Media video. Um that's the KOC and Marksman when they left the cult way before I left, and because these cats was been speaking against the cult. Like you were saying, there's people that was looking at us at this time, like these cats saying the same thing, and this was a big red flag for me right here. This video, where a brother in Baltimore, his name was Bun Lawyer, I believe. You can find him. He's an artist named Adam Antium, and he did some, so he did this. I guess he put this out. He recorded the audio of him talking to Tazadakia, and he saw Tazadakia in the streets of Baltimore. He questioned him about the failed H1N1 virus and all his prophecies about the N word coming back because Barack Obama was going to be president, that the N word would come back. That's another one.
Oh yeah,
Like,
there we go.
but yeah, let's watch this real quick. Yeah, let's quick. Mhm.
Is there any audio? Because I can't hear nothing.
You can't hear it?
No, I can't hear the
No.
video either.
It's mad low. Okay. Never mind.
Exclusive audio is what I.
That's a video though yeah, pretty much that's a joint that he says that the ICG that the H1N1 virus or the H1N1 vaccine was supposed to come out and it's supposed to kill millions of people. And I remember they were telling us, not to get the vaccine because we're gonna die and shit.
You're
But
gonna
there's an
die.
audio of yeah, billions. Well, yeah, there's millions of people that's supposed to die. So yeah, I think my shit is paused. My bad.
Now, I'm wondering, how did he prophesy a false prophecy about the H1N1 killing millions of people, but COVID somehow didn't reach his spiritual radar? How come COVID was nowhere prophesied by Taz?
Exactly.
The biggest plague we've ever seen in our time, the God Comforter missed that prophecy.
You a
Right.
funny dude. It's real though. I mean, that's that's an honor. That's a good, you know.
Now this is
I
common
feel,
sense stuff. That's what I'm saying. At this point, these brothers and sisters is choosing to use no common sense,
Right.
and they're disguising it as faith, which is really disgusting for people that really believe in the Bible. These brothers and sisters is front and lying to themselves and other people.
Right.
You can't believe in the Bible based off of what they've seen. Period. This is
The way
like
they
stop.
try the way they try to talk about how like they try to bring the Bible to be more current, and by doing that they have to give you a prophecy that something's going to happen, and usually that you don't get a date with it, like something that you could like pinpoint, and now you can say, well, it didn't happen. But when you just say something, anything, and you don't give a time period, it's like you could always just say, well, it's going to happen or it's starting to happen, and you can find evidence of certain things happening. There's an N word. Like, how the hell? And what's crazy is that they did a video talking about how that's a fulfillment of prophecy, and they used like Kramer from Seinfeld on stage using the N word. Remember? He got
Yep.
he got he had to
He got
I think
he got
yeah.
canceled behind that.
Yeah, he definitely got canceled. He still ain't recovered from that. And that cat pretty much was supposed to be used as an example of this prophecy coming to pass, but that happened before he even said that. You
Yep.
know, like that was just a little incident where I don't even know what the hell he was thinking. That dude was wilding out, and he caught a crazy racist moment on stage because he was getting into it with a heckler. He couldn't even know how to
Yep.
handle it. It was
Yep.
crazy. Yeah. Yeah,
their
but
prophecies is it's whack to me when they do shit like that. It's like it's gonna rain and it's gonna be dark that day. And then when it rains, and I told you it was gonna rain. Like it fucking rains all the time. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the shit that you're saying is just, you know,
yeah,
like
things that things that
there's
usually
gonna be
happen. Yeah,
there's gonna be earthquakes in diverse places. I mean, fuck, man, how long has earthquakes been going on?
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, if it's something that's starting to happen more often too, it's like it could even sound like it's fulfilling the prophecy, but the reason for why it's happening can actually be explained, in places like California, and there's a whole science with that. you know, with
Hmm.
Yeah.
tectonic plates and all types of stuff. I don't even know about, you know, but there's an explanation with it that people are always going to say, well, who's moving the tectonic plates? God's moving the tectonic plates. And it's like you can't, you know, you keep kicking the can down the road, and you never actually prove the actual initial claim. And a lot of these cats make claims that can't be verified. They didn't even want you to look into the finances, you know, which is something that you're providing to the church. And even in our government, we are doing that, and we make sure that there's bookkeeping, and people are getting rated constantly, just like the ICGJC got rated, Benny Hinn got rated, and offices get rated all the time. And you know, I look, you know, people, the health department comes in, and you know, they start looking into your restaurant. That's another thing the government does. You know, they push up on people that are doing illegal activities. So as long as you don't do anything illegal, then nobody's gonna come after you. But you know, the argument on Vocab Malone's channel that the ICGJC came on, and St. Basil said that, oh, it was all over taxes. Yeah, it was over taxes that he was taking, money that he was taking from the church and using it uh, as his own personal income. And you got to pay
Hmm.
taxes on those. But the question is, because there was other charges that got dropped because he pled guilty to the charge of defrauding the United States by not paying his taxes. That was undeniable. He was using the money coming from the church to do stupid shit, to go on vacations in Disney World, to buy purses at Louis Vuitton, to buy, you know, all types of sneakers and, you know, all types of shit, spending money in all types of places. That what does this have to do with the mission at hand, that we're supposed to be the Israelites and we're supposed to be bringing back the 12 tribes, the lost tribes of Israel? Why are you at Louis Vuitton spending church money? Like, what the hell? Why are people making it seem like that's nothing when you got vans that were broken down, that were sitting in front of the church for years, that they wouldn't fix? We got the phone bill was not paid in Orlando for almost a whole year. It went on for like 9, 10 months, man. People were trying to call us. There were so-called fruits, you know, trying to come in, and they would call the number, and the number was disconnected on the flyer that we gave them, the Orlando flyer, which I still have somewhere around here. You know, there's a history to this, and 9 years later, I don't understand how we have recruits. Somebody I spoke to recently, he barely even interacted with me, but I had a conversation with this dude who I found his mother and his wife. They found a video of mine, and they reached out to me to find out about the ICGJC, and then they want to know the truth about it, because this cat doesn't even know that some of the things that Tazadakia prophesied, some of the false prophecies. He doesn't even know like some of this stuff. I don't understand how they're even recruiting anybody. Like they're an embarrassment in this whole Hebrew Israelite community to begin with. You know, so I don't know, man. So I wanted answers. This dude, I was asking him about the 2020 false prophecy. He said he never heard about it, but you can find it right on YouTube. It was called The Power. If you look up ICGJC Tazadakia, The Power, where he's talking about getting some type of power. And I think the name of the DVD is called In the Time of Thy Power, Thy People Shall Be Willing, something like that. It's a scripture, you know. And he was trying to say that in 2020, they were going to have some type of power, and they were going to be in Israel, and Jesus Christ was going to redeem them and bring them out of America. They're supposed to go through the Atlantic Ocean like they went through the Red Sea, is what he was teaching. I don't
Dang.
have no video on that. I don't have no video on that, but people were saying shit like that. But that's
Right.
what I heard was going around. So they gave that impression, you know, and they didn't really they were never really clear. I mean, I think they were pretty clear, but the members make it seem like it's all confusion, and we don't know what. I mean, they don't even talk about it, you know, which shows you like they're not telling the recruits, the new people that's coming in, that, you know, we taught in 2020 that we're going to go back to Israel. They don't even mention these things. So
Hell no,
people
they
got to,
try to sweep that shit under the rug.
hell yeah.
They're not honest. Like, you know, nah, brother, that's not wise to tell the brothers that'll scare the flock. They're babes. Right now, we want to give them you know, the milk right now. We want to give them Deuteronomy 28 chapter and you know, whatever. It
Right.
goes back to the pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. Sweep that shit under the rug. Like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah. And he's now dead. Like, this is a crazy
Is he
story
dead?
that, yeah. Tazadak is gone, man.
Oh,
Like,
not that. Is Ariad.
oh, I don't know if Aria actually.
Because Tazariak is saying that, like, his elders, General Hamburger, Johanna, is they said that they confirmed, but how can they confirm? I mean, do they contact ICGJC, the people in there? Because I mean, you would think the ICGJC guys would know because they're part of that cult still.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't have a solid connection with anybody in the ICGJC right now. But every once in a while, there's somebody that hits me up, and whether it's somebody that's still in there or has recently left, or it's a family member of somebody that's in there. I'll here and there I'll keep in touch, and somebody will let me know some things. But right now, I can tell there's not much going on. We put out the video. I found a video of their 2023 Hebrew Academy graduates, and the total of graduates was like 33 graduates. They're not doing anything big at all. More than half of those brothers were recycled from years before that they keep throwing back in the Hebrew Academy, and that's how they beef up their numbers. They don't really have a lot of recruitment going on. ICGJC is not really even something to talk about. I like I just want to keep putting the nails in the coffin. I don't know.
Nobody knows who they are. I mean, if they do, they're like, yeah, those are the Christian Israelites that left the truth and that believed in Jermaine Grant.
Yeah. Exactly. What do you think, Gerard? You back? You ate that good food?
Yeah, I
I
think
thought
so.
we were supposed to be canceled November 1st. We're gonna be out in the streets and prophecies coming to pass. That's
Yeah,
what some of these cats are talking about.
that's what I said. Look, that the rebels, the antichrist, those that left the truth, as
Right.
they like to say, it's not even the truth. It's TROOF.
That's
The
the
truth.
truth.
Yep. Those that left, you're gonna be the first to go. That's what he was all told. You're gonna be the first to go. But look at just all the prophecies, and we just casually just naming all the stuff that was said that just is not going to happen, which is just crazy. Like just those demands. The one right there. Like, how do you expect all Jewish banks around the world to release all their gold to you? Like, where would y'all even store this at? Where was it to be kept? Release all the gold and then release all Black and Hispanic prisoners out of prison to
Crazy.
be released to become part of the nation. The
Um,
2012, that's one we really don't hit on that one enough right now as it is, because right now there's a whole big situation going on with one of the major tribes in Israel, according to them, and you're not seeing a stir, you're not seeing nothing shake from the heavens as there's all this turmoil, as they say that Issachar and the northern kingdom is being attacked now and all that, and it's like, bro, where is the reckoning for all this stuff? They are stuck without no guide, no paddle in the river right now in
yeah.
2025 going into
Sheep
2026.
without a shepherd, man.
Literally just smitten, and they don't realize, like, y'all are already scattered. Like, you're the most irrelevant camp, like, under GMS. And that's saying something when you're beneath GMS. Like, beneath Gorilla Hebrew type stuff is where you at. Gorilla Hebrew, he just said the hell with it, man. I'm going back to gang banging and talking about LA damn podcasts and all that. Like, that's the funny thing. These rebel, quote unquote rebel groups, they've taken the truth, your truth, and have made it a laughing stock. Like, I'm sorry, that skit with Drewski was hilarious. Like, bro, nobody is taking y'all dudes serious and know they're not mocking the prophets. But if something does happen to Drewski, you know they are gonna run with that, boy. If anything, like he gets in a car accident, next woman that leaves him, anything, they gonna make a clip of that. Judgment
You
of the Most
see,
Of
High.
course. Of course.
Judgment of the Most High God.
that's
Never
fucking
mock the
stupid.
prophets. Yes,
Hey,
it's blanket prophecies.
the reason why I fell off because I was trying to figure out how if like when we're doing this live stream, if I could flip my camera around because I don't know how. But
Oh,
I got it's gonna be backwards, but I got old flyers from the Israeli Church of Universal Practical Knowledge. I got a
yeah,
lot of
it's
them.
good. I could
Look
see
at
it.
them
I could see
flyers.
it
Is all
good.
nice and crispy and
Yeah, it's
white.
not
Boy, they
back.
ain't
It's
got a
not backwards.
stain or
Hey,
nothing up on them, boy.
it's got the same number. When you call it, they'll say Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ. I was
Right.
tripping. I say, yo, you
Was
know
it
what I
that
mean?
Right.
212
Hold on, don't tell it.
289 something?
Let me put it out there. What is it? 212-289-9923.
Oh, yeah, that's that number.
Then there's another one, 212-289-0339. That was
That one's
correspondence
probably
department.
that's probably disconnected now. Like I said, the
Yeah.
name is all you need.
That's crazy, bro. All the way back from I printed these out back in 1998.
What is that? The Jacob and Esau flyer?
No, that's it's backwards, right?
I'm trying to
It's
see.
who are the Gadites? My
Oh,
bad.
who
Let
are
me
the Gadites? That erroneous information flyer.
that, and then the UFOs,
Yeah.
and then I got I got all kind of flyers. Oh crap! Christ is King.
So right now, let science and certain agencies tell it they've been communicating with UFOs. So are they communicating with the angels, or I mean, that's what I'm curious.
Man, remember the Apocrypha says if you don't know the answer, put your hand over your mouth. You know,
I
all
mean,
that. I don't know. That's above my pay grade. I don't know. And I'm honest with it. Now I can give you some, well, I believe type shit, but I can't fucking prove a goddamn thing.
bro,
I'm honest with it.
time, technology is debunking a lot of this in real historical research is
Yeah.
debunk and finds is debunking all this Israelite stuff. Like they're at the first of
Yeah.
what's being debunked, but they're actually debunking a lot of what these religions and all that stuff is teaching. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not against saying that these records of when you go into the Bible and the Quran, all this different stuff, it doesn't have ancient validity to it and certain stuff in those texts. But it's something that's
Yeah.
lost in translation. People need to stop just playing with this stuff. This stuff was used for, this was the old politics when it came to religion. This is how they controlled masses of people. And people don't want to accept the fact you still being controlled with these same stories that you don't understand, don't speak the language, don't understand the culture of this stuff. And you're trying to bypass all that you need to go to really be an expert in this. You bypass it by faith. You want to do the damn Negro minority cheat code. Oh, I just have
Yeah.
faith. Oh, I'm just spiritual, and you don't know nothing about these records. And people just need to stop fronting at this point. It's like I said, everyone believes in God until it's time for that itch to get scratched. When intimacy gets on the table, oh, God goes out the window. Ain't nobody talking about, well, before we do this, we're husband and wife, or we shouldn't be sleeping together if we're not married. As soon as you get a little bit horny, all that thing goes out the window. You ain't thinking about none of that, especially in that place, because there was so much adultery and fornication and all that going on in there. It was ridiculous.
Get it.
So I don't subscribe to the supernatural Negro no more.
And then
These
if you
people that
got
want to
kicked
one
out,
up you with this faith stuff, like, all right, brother, knock yourself out with all that.
Right.
It's
and then
like I
if you
said.
got,
Go ahead, bro.
I'm sorry, and then if you got kicked out, the same dudes up in there is now trying to fuck your. Is it all right if I cuss, Miguel?
Yeah, it's fine.
He
It's
just
all
messing up your whole monetization and all that, man. Come on, man.
right.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
But I'm just saying. But as soon as here's what I'm trying to say. As soon as you get booted out, kicked out, now the dudes with the rank up that are still in there, they trying to have sex or they trying to wipe up your baby mama, your ex-rib, because you're a rebel, you're the devil, you're an antichrist. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hell, some was trying to do
Literally.
it while you was in there. Yeah, some wouldn't even wait.
He ain't lying.
The place was corrupt, man. You just got to look at it what it was. If you were being called in the truth, council should not be lined up from sundown Tuesday night to damn sun up Thursday morning of all types of evil and negative that people is doing. We ain't talking about like what Moses was doing where he had to work out problems with people. We're talking about blatant sin and evil that people were being called up to council for. So it's like, what are they talking about? This is the congregation of the righteous. Not if you look at the council sheets, I couldn't tell. Like I said, I had access to all that. I know cases of madness that went up there from brothers damn pimping their own wives, literally, to all types of madness. Damn molestation, all types of stuff. And these brothers are trying to parade, well, a just man falls 7 times. A just man doesn't fall 7 times into doing something with some child that they shouldn't be dealing with. Damn, putting your wife on a track in Las Vegas. That ain't got nothing to do with a just
That's
man
crazy.
falling. Brother, I gotta, we were trying to get back to the Sabbath and we ran out of money in Las Vegas. So I looked at my wife and said, we might have to work out something.
That's
And
crazy.
literally, you know how I damn, because the brother ended up with a situation where he had to beat down a John. This brother calls me with this story and literally says, he's reporting this to me as I'm a fake chief priest at the time. He's literally saying, like he's saying something honorable, like, sir, we ran out of money. We were just trying to get back to the Sabbath. So, I kind of had to do what I had to do. And this brother's reporting how a John took too long with his woman and he had to go in there and beat down the John. And he's reporting like this, like it's something positive. I'm like, brother, where am I at? What am I even hearing right now? This dude was a recruit, which didn't mean nothing. You're in a church, and this is what you got members doing. You got people trying to parade this place as a place of the righteous.
God damn.
That ain't even going on. And I ain't heard that in these what you call secular worldly churches. I ain't heard about no Joel Osteen kind of get them selling them box of his own wife. And he's supposed to be in the
Got to
truth.
keep these laws, Doc. Got to keep these laws.
I had to make it. We were just trying to make it back to the Sabbath, sir. Like, all right, brother. As you was out there on a crack binge at that too.
He was pumping her too hard, Doc. You know what I'm saying? I had to go in there and check him because
it was a positive, sir. He took too long, so I stepped in like the husband I'm supposed to be.
I don't even be pounding it like that. He was in there smashing the shit out of it, but we gotta get back to Sabbath class, Doc.
Crazy as hell. And these brothers are in the delusion that they're in something special. Taz is in hotel rooms having menage a trois and all that, damn, calling up the film crew, damn, while he's clapping buns. And this is stuff that's going on, and these brothers are still trying to parade this dude. No, that's why we do speak on that. It's like you said, though. This place is really nothing to speak about, but it's the fact that you still do got a few hundred slow people in there that they need a rescue. They need help. They need to actually hear stuff like this and ask themselves, what the hell am I doing? How can I look back at my kids with any type of hope in their future, raising them in some shit like this?
Man.
That's not going nowhere. And I know it's not going nowhere, but I'm about to ruin my kid's life keeping them in this nonsense. Getting with one of these young knucklehead boneheads up in here that's not learning the commandments of God, that's only learning the doctrine of men. That's crazy right there. But like I said, that's why I said, people like that, knock yourself out. You're only gonna drive yourself crazier the longer you sit up in there.
When I was in Oklahoma City, I had my foot in the door, and I was still going to the church every now and then because they didn't just officially kick me out. This is back in like maybe 04, 05. And there was a brother named La'ah Iwad Marah, which means no more bitterness. Long story short, I was watching the Israelite Church of Greed and Jesuit Control, and I'm looking at all this, and I'm like, I'm in the library, and I used to have long hair, so my brother, he came in 3 months before I did, and he tapped me, and when I looked back, he was getting ready to give me a Gadite flyer because he thought, oh, you know what I mean, Native Indian brother. But when he seen me, he looked like he saw a ghost. And so, long story short, man, I'm trying to show him. I said, nah, look, man, because man, me and him, we brothers. I used to pick him up for Sabbath class. I'm like, yo, check this out. Look at this. Look at these videos that these brothers are putting out. Like, look at the colors, man, that y'all's wearing now. I said, when we was in ICGJC, I'm sorry, when we was in ICUPK, I said we didn't have to dress like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Look at these colors. They're like the Roman Catholic Church. You know what I'm saying? I said, look at Tazadakia's videos, man. This nigga done took a bag or something. I said, man, this crosses on the background. It's like some Roman Catholic shit. He was, oh man, that's that he's looking at me like, brother, you wicked. He wasn't even trying to watch the video. Then he's got his little boy there. He said, you see this, son? That's a rebel right there. That's the devil right there. I'm looking at him like, brother, don't tell him that, man.
Right.
You making this little man my enemy. Like he looks scared because, you got his father is teaching him this, and he's looking like, looking at me like just
he's looking
like
at the devil in the face, brother. That's what he's looking
yeah.
at. Dang,
And now
he's
that
a
little
devil
boy,
right here in front of me.
And now that little boy, I think, has a position in the ICGJC from the last time I heard. I don't know because I don't keep up with these cats, man. Like they're not even in the Israelite community anymore, man. Like the purple niggas I see.
Nobody even cares.
Yeah.
I've seen videos of I forget some of these users. It's like some of these random YouTube cats that just want to spend a day with a hate group. And it's a white dude, or sometimes it'll be a black dude.
Yeah, the little mixed dude with the big beard and all that. I've been seeing him lately. He had to get a little piece after. And what some of them videos is old. They just clout chasing after that Drewski thing. That Drewski thing went viral in like damn 8 hours. So now you got a lot of these dudes that's interviewed like ISUPK and had little run-ins with IUIC. The only one that I feel ain't clout chasing this is vocab right now because he's been consistently on them dudes. Well, no, there's a few of them that's been consistently on these guys, but yeah, this was some people was kind of trying to ride that Drewski clout because he did an excellent job on that.
Yeah, it was good.
IUIC.
Yeah.
Can I talk to you, my brother? You need to
What's
join
funny,
us,
what's
brother.
funny is that it was like that same day. It was like October 28th, maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday. I get on the Clubhouse Biblical Smoke Clubhouse room, which is the IUIC thing, and I've been trying to get on that thing for like a few days, and they just always recognize. Now they're starting to recognize me, so they won't let me talk.
Yeah.
And I can't get a word in ever. It's crazy. So I finally got to talk, and I'm about to put it out, man. I should have been posted this, but I want to add more visuals to it because all I have is just the audio of the back and forth with Asaph, and they couldn't even go through the Apocrypha, man. And I'm asking them, don't you guys believe? Like, I wanted to ask you a question about why does it say through that country? And they didn't even want to go to the scripture. They didn't want to read it, man. These cats are crazy, man. These cats are crazy with that scripture, and with certain things. And then I'll post a video so you can see everything because, they might say, oh, yeah, we rattled him with all the information. But what they did was just sing off a bunch of books or certain claims of, like I said, and it's all anecdotal evidence for something that they're claiming that is genetic. And it's an identity. It's a way to identify. They're doing the same thing with Native Americans now. It's a new big thing now. I don't know if you noticed in this. They're saying that Native Americans are the indigenous blacks, are indigenous Native Americans before they came from Siberia. Which how significant? Let's say that's maybe somehow true. How significant was it? Where what you see nowadays is that's not what you see coming out of the Amazon. There's actual videos of natives coming out of the Amazon making first contact, with people out in the world. So so and so. that, you know, they got to be careful coming around them because they might get sick. They're not used to living the way that we live. And you can see that none of these tribes, these people that are coming out of the Amazon, look in any way like a sub-Saharan African is really what, if you want to break it down,
whatsoever.
or any type of indigenous black. And when I asked for this information, man, I got to start screen recording this stuff. It's hilarious. These guys will post, like random people will post a response on like these Facebook groups. And, you know, after I show videos of people coming out of the Amazon that don't look black, they'll post a video. And then when you go into the history of it, it's actually some shit that happened in Papua New Guinea or somewhere in New Zealand, you know, and if they just not looking into it. And we're talking about the Americas, indigenous Americans. They're trying to steal this whole identity and create a whole culture. And it's very similar to what the Hebrew Israelites do. You know, they're stealing the Comanche Indians' heritage, brother.
You talk about the Negroes claiming to be the indigenous.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I have a female.
The damn
I listen to
Pretendian
people.
doctrine.
I listen to people, you know, and I know that people believe what they believe, and I mean, my homegirl, I love her, man. She's cool, you know, and I mean, I'm just like, you know, you're on your journey, you know what I'm saying? I'm not all bent up out of shape. You know, what's that saying? What you eat don't make me shit. You know what I'm saying? You're entitled to believe what you believe. And, you know, I mean, yeah, like my mother's Comanche Indian, and I'm honest, we could possibly, as indigenous Native Indians, there's over 574 federally recognized Native Indian tribes in the Americas. Sure, there's a possibility that a lot of them could be that of Siberian descent. You know what I'm saying? I'm open to everything. I don't know. Maybe I don't fucking know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was taught that, you know, I can only speak for my tribe. I don't know about the other tribes. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to make claims,
I've seen that there could be. It's the majority are definitely not anyway related to any Hebrew. Let's say that there is. Let's say, like, I'll admit that maybe there is some, you know, that it's possible that some Jews or Hebrew Israelites or whatever you want to call it maybe didn't populate an entire continent and you know, to, you know, North and South America, to be just one people. Like, how could it just be one people? You know, there's so many people that could have made it to this side of the world, and there is evidence of Polynesian DNA being in the Americas, man, like making it out here before they made it to Easter Island. And all these Polynesian islands, there's so many little places, you know, and pit stops that you can make on the way to the Americas if
They
you start
made it.
to travel, you know.
Polynesian people made it all the way to damn Madagascar. What makes you think they couldn't have made it to the Americas? Like, come on, man.
no,
People,
I
like I
get it.
said, that place dumbed you down from history, real history, world travel, and migration. Where it's like that's why they never sat on no real debates, because a real scholar or historian would have damn destroyed them dudes. They would
Let me
have had
say
them looking
this.
so stupid on national television or whatever, and they really did them a service by saying, "Man, we're not even going to debate you guys, man. You guys just stay where you're at up there in Harlem."
They try to distort our history as Puerto Ricans. Oh, that's Ephraim. You know, like, hold on, wait, like, do you know the history of us? We're a new thing on the earth right now. Puerto Rican, what the fuck is a Puerto Rican? It's a mixture of African, because we still hold our African in Loíza, which is like right next to the town where my pops were, you know what I mean, from Rio Grande. But we're African, we're Spanish, and we're Taino Indian. And that Taino Indian, it's only more so in our DNA now. You know what I mean? Because of all the mixing. You're not gonna like for instance, my mom's dad, full-blooded Comanche. Well, that's what is documented. You know, he's a full-blooded Comanche. And I mean, you still, like, I'm in Oklahoma. You go to Anadarko, there's nothing but native different tribes. There's Cheyenne, Arapaho, there's, you know what I'm saying, Comanches, Kiowas, there's different tribes that are still alive today. But
I just
you go
watched
down
a
to the
tight documentary on the Comanche. He that is always against me is what that meant in
Lords
Spanish.
of the Plains, baby. You know what I'm saying?
They
We
was
about
playing.
about
They
it.
was playing no games.
Yeah, we like it's been said that we killed most of the whites out of
Yeah.
all the different tribes. So I'm like,
And
no
the
wonder why
Apache.
I ended up joining a
Toss it
fucking
between
black
y'all and
religious
the
cult.
Apache. There's toss it between them two. But that's
But
what
I'm
I'm
just
saying.
saying it's in my DNA. No wonder why I ended up joining a black religious cult.
Distorted history. No, like just like we say, Gad, they knew the land too well. No, they was fighting back. That's what the hell it
Yeah.
was. There was a difference between they was on the run or something like that. No, they was fighting back until certain element regiments and all that was set up and all that. Like even with that, they don't never go into the history of the Buffalo Soldiers and say how those were damn slaves that was used to fight against Gad and all that stuff, quote unquote. Because why? They would have to go into the truth. Like, no, there was damn blacks that then was paid by the government that said, "The hell with it. This check is bigger than them, our brothers and all that." How come there wasn't a unification of tribes? Even though some of them brothers did desert, but it was less that deserted than actually fought and them collected the check to fight against their quote unquote brothers. So
But
it's
going
like
back to what
distorted
you said,
history.
there's so much history that it's like you just like all the you would have to break down you say, okay, based off of Genesis 49, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome in the end. I used to teach the same thing as well, because I know Native Americans. My mother's a Native American. I grew up a Native Indian man, at least half, through my mom. My father's Boricua. But I would say I've been around them drinking, and I used to feel the same way. We're gonna take it all back. They stole it. They took it all, the whole land. So I do know, I used to, that would be in my little spill when I'm teaching that Gad is of the nation of Israel. But the thing is this, you got all these different tribes. You're going to have to explain to me the Navajo language. You're going to have to explain to me Sac and Fox history, which is a tribe, the Cheyenne, the Arapaho, the Comanche, the Shoshone. There's so many. You just put them all in one fucking basket and say that's the tribe of Gad, which is an insult to me. It's like you're just talking shit. You don't know the history.
And you lied and said they were speaking Hebrew. That part too.
Yeah.
You forgot how many different languages they all spoke. Oh, and they were speaking Hebrew. How, when there was hundreds of different
Anybody
languages
could
and
just
dialects
claim
spoke
that. Like
amongst those different tribes?
they've
And
never
then it's like
proven
what's been
that.
already debunked again.
Even
The different
even
Gadite Ten Commandment stones and all that they
even
found
when you
down there was
even when you go
Arizona or
into
something like
like
that. It's like, bro, this
the
is not even
when you
Hebrew, a
go
lot of
into
it that
the
y'all looking at. Like this has been totally debunked several times.
What'd you
yo
So
say,
that
San Miguel?
when you go into the so-called evidence,
now
um
I think he's muted out right now.
Who, me?
And not
no,
you, Miguel. I
you
can't
can't
hear
hear
him if
me.
No,
he's
I
saying
can hear
something.
him. He
Oh,
was
I can't
talking.
hear
Y'all
him.
were both talking at the same time.
Yeah, I was
You
thinking
Yeah, I
can't
don't
about
know
hear
that.
why.
him.
Yeah, I can't hear him on his end.
Oh, I don't
Why you
know
Oh,
talk
why.
over talking my big homie San Miguel, man? Come on, bro.
okay. Let me go on the live. I'm gonna turn this on thing.
Yeah. No, I was saying, when you go into like the so-called evidence of the Las Lunas, Decalogue stone, the Father Nazario stones, you actually go into it and you realize this doesn't prove that the 10 tribes made it to America and America's Arsaret and all of that. Even if you say that you found um, some stones, that have Hebrew and you have that claim, it's like, let's say that it was true. We still have to find out when was this created, because there's history of Jews coming to the Americas since like the 1600s even. And before that, they even say Christopher Columbus was Jewish. So they were Jewish people in Spain and in Portugal coming to the Americas, for a
We
long
got
time now.
feedback.
Yeah, I
Mr.
think
Ford, I think it's
it's better now.
there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. My bad, man. I'm coming out of a cold and shit. The weather just changed down.
Same here, bro. I've been laid up for 3 days, man. See, the Most High, he like, you know what I'm saying? He said, boom, I'm gonna put this cold on you, man, and lay you down because, brother, you talking up against the ICGJC now, brother. I'm a rebel, you know what I mean? So, you see, that's how the Lord do.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. You know,
Hey,
that's the
let me.
same crap. It's the
No,
same,
I ain't
same
gonna say
old
that on
fucking
mine.
But yeah, man, it's November 1st, 2025. It's the 99th year anniversary of the ICGJC raid. They were the ones that wanted to make it a big deal, and they thought
And
that it
tell
was supposed
Miguel
to be
I'm
a
gonna come right
countdown.
back because I can't hear him. I'm gonna come back out. I'm gonna log out and come right back in.
Yeah, definitely. But you can look it up, man. I'm trying to see where. Let me see. Say that again.
It's been 9 freaking years.
Yeah, since the raid. Yep.
That's wild, man.
Yeah,
I
that's good.
remember watching that on Sarnetter. Like, damn, am I getting that old?
Yeah, that's
I was
right.
like, yo, look, like all these different camps. Stop, hold on. This is the original One West. You got General your hamburger over here fucking lying. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is the original One West that's got some like, yo, they cracking down on these niggas.
Right, right, right.
Lord, I gotta laugh because I mean, I could just imagine that the people up in there, like, oh, you see, like the Lord, the shit that they're trying to justify, like it's going down now, like whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's true. It's like part of the doomsday doctrine. There's always
That
something coming,
part.
like there's always something coming around the corner, and you got to watch out. And we're living in the last days, and it's like the
Here it
urgent
is.
decision making, urgent, like non logical, no real, it's
They're gonna be like this.
right. They always try to pull a scripture for everything and try to relate something that doesn't fit. Um, they say like one of the most silliest ones that I couldn't. It's so easy to realize is that when it says that oppression makes a wise man mad, that's talking about going crazy, not being angry. So they always used to
Right.
justify being hateful and angry by pulling that scripture when it's actually talking about going crazy, which actually defines some of these motherfuckers out here. They're actually they're actually kind of crazy. So I don't know if they fulfill the scripture. They don't even realize it.
I mean,
It's
these
horrible.
people these people acting like as bombs is falling from the sky during a World War III that's not prophesied in the Bible. They dang act like like people are going to be running into the church as they're showing them Leviticus 11:7. See, brother, thou shalt not eat the swine. Like that's going to be the problems of the people as as everything goes into turmoil and up in flames and all that. People are going to be running in the church to learn. See, this is happening because the black man was not keeping the Passover. It's like, bro,
They're gonna say, brother,
you're
give
really
me
not
Isaiah.
listening to how illogical this whole doctrine is that y'all are speaking. Like that is not the issues that's in the world.
Hold on, they gonna pull
But it's just like
Isaiah
you said,
chapter
they always got
66.
you thinking that, like I said, something's going to be wiped off the planet any day now. And it's like
Yeah,
right now, I bet you they got all types of madman doctrine on this food stamp cutoff and all that.
they were saying that you were gonna see news reporters on the TV wearing the Shield of David. You're gonna
Come
see
on.
people that are just gonna be everywhere, like news reporters. What? Like, where are the scholars? Where are the archaeologists? Where are the real you know people that are coming? That are coming with evidence. Like everything that we had in the ICGJC, we were kept in the dark. All we had were claims and this faith, and we were amazed by the things Sazazaki was teaching. Some of the things he was teaching, he was getting from other doctrines. Like he brought in the divinity of Jesus Christ and the whole
Can't hear
virgin being born
nothing.
of a virgin. And we
Yeah, I
started
can't hear neither one
switching
of
up.
y'all now.
You
Can you
can't
hear
hear
me?
me?
No, I'm gonna try this one more time. I might have to log
You
out of
can't hear
these
me?
AirPods. So If y'all can't hear me in like 2 seconds, I'm gonna log back
I
out.
can hear
I'm gonna
you.
take off
We
these
can hear you.
AirPods.
Yeah, I can hear you.
We hear you.
Yeah, we hear you. I don't know.
Right. But see, look, Miguel, my bad, real quick. This is what they would pull on him based off of what he said. Brother, give me Isaiah chapter 66, verse 15 through 17. Read. For behold, the Lord will come with fire. See, the Lord will come with fire. This is future connotation.
Right.
And then it says, like his chariots with a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and his rebukes with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh. Read that again. Eating swine's flesh. For the brother that just said that, about Leviticus 11 and 7, read it again.
The
Eating
Holy Spirit.
swine flesh. This is future connotation. Brother, you can cut. Shemai, Shemai.
You got your head covered, brother. You got the
Oh,
Bible.
Salakia.
You're reading the Bible and
Salakia.
got your head covered, brother. What are you doing? You ain't got a little hole. You ain't got a little hole at the top of your hat to make sure that your head's not covered, brother. Everyone would be looking at us like, bro, your head's still covered. You got a big old scarf covered everything with a hexagram at the
A
top
fucking hat with
and
a
a
big old
little
hole.
hole cut out.
They actually have fitted hats, man. They actually have fitted hats with the hole in them.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that too. That was crazy. You literally had people with little cutouts up in their stuff, like the size of a quarter. Well, you see, my head's not all the way covered, brother. Your head's covered. What are you talking about?
They used to say it was your baby, your soft spot when you're a baby. They say that's what this. I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
I heard that. You had a couple brothers just
The
making
soft
shit
spot
up
when
in
you're a
there.
baby. That's what they say the spirit comes through.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Come on,
And
man.
when your head's covered, brother, you pray and see all the Lord can't penetrate those blessings into you, brother, because your head's covered.
That's
I had a
fucking
brother literally
ridiculous.
say that the blessings bounce off because your head is covered.
Your hat's in the way.
Yeah,
It's just
your
like,
hat gets in the
So
way
the
of the spirit.
creator, the creator of all that be out there, man, he doesn't have the power to boom just bypass that to get inside that.
Nah, man.
you eventually have to.
The power of cotton.
Yeah, I mean, eventually you just come to a conclusion like, damn, y'all are really just making stuff up. That's what you start realizing. You eventually come to a pinnacle where it's like, all right, I know the history, I know the laws. All right, now what? And that's where all the stunts and the prophetic dang time machine games start coming then, because it's like, all right, we got to keep spoon feeding them something to keep them going, because they're
Yeah.
supposed to know the Bible after a certain period of time. I mean, Christ was only with the disciples for 3 years, so, and they was fully equipped to go fully out. You got brothers that have been in the academy 20 years
God damn.
and could not and still cannot teach their fake breakdown on Jeremiah or Deuteronomy 28 to save their life.
That's whack.
I'm wondering, do they even really still teach the like 12 tribes breakdown anymore? Because that's another just debunked like
They don't like talking about that at all, I notice. Like you don't see people even really talking about that anymore. It's like they don't
even
even
IUIC
really
just
want to
be out
address
there
it.
with the sign, but they really don't be going in that hard on
Yeah,
breaking
yeah,
down tribe individually. Be
yeah.
especially now that you in Africa, damn, playing with the Zulus and everything
I
else over
mean,
there.
that's the thing. It's like they're going way beyond all of that. That they don't even want to even focus on that because they're international. So, but you still have to address your own doctrines. They can always say it on the side. That's how they get away with being with a underage girl or something. They can have their own little private doctrine that they don't tell everybody, and it might be you might be involved in a cult that agrees with like what GMS believes in, that just as long as they have their menstrual cycle and she hits the flower of her age, they try to mix that in with numbers, the flowers, to mean a menstrual cycle. Like now you have a 12-year-old. I've heard of even girls that are younger had their menstrual cycle, and that don't make them a woman. Now you can't marry that woman. So it's all backwards, you know, and you never really know what the inner circle and the people that are running this shit really believe, because they could tell you, the public and the followers, one thing, but really behind the scenes privately believe in something completely different. You know, I've seen that before, man.
You talking about in the cult?
Yeah, definitely, man. When I came in, there was a dude that's been in there since the 90s. His name was Law. And he was supposedly like a Mennonite.
Mm.
And he was out in Miami, and he had a young ass girl, man. And everybody knew, everybody realized that there was at least like a 10-year difference. And she was definitely under 18. And people
Damn.
just brushed it off. I
Wow.
didn't know, you know, I didn't really know what to think about it. But I was in Orlando, and I seen them come up maybe a few times. But, you know, I didn't know exactly who he was. I heard that he's been in there for a long time. You know, like there was some cats that came from the 90s that were kind of crazy. There was a few of them. And they wasn't really even looking at them as like, we don't care. Like, they didn't even care that you were there before. They were vetting the hell out of you before you even came back. What took you so long to come back? They'll ask sometimes, you know, and that happened to my cousin that's at IUIC. He was trying to come back. And he told me that Tazadaki told him, you know, what he asked him, what took you so long and what were you doing? Have you been listening to other videos of other
They want
camps?
to get this. Yeah.
All that.
Damn.
Yeah, it's crazy. But, you know, them cats
They
got
want
the
to know how
money
to
to
deal
make a
with
call.
you.
Yeah. And they were using the
Damn.
money that was
Hell no.
coming in. They're taking 20% of your income. And that's another thing that's wrong. You know, when you have a tithe, you have 10% of different increases. You can have an increase of one thing and an increase of another thing, and you get 10% of each. That doesn't make it 20%. That's 10% of two different increases. So that's not a total of 20% if you're looking at it separating each increase, you know. But what they try to do is take your one paycheck and say, you got to give me 20% of that, which that's not what the scriptures were saying. The scripture was talking about your increase of oils, your increase of corn. You have different increases. You got to give 10% of those different individual pots. You take 10% from that, not 20% from one pot. So what they're doing is completely backwards, and it's a scam. It's a big money scam, you know. And
Yeah.
that's why they got raided. That's why Tazadake was asking when he was calling me out. I want Miguel. Where's Miguel? He was saying, what's taking the FBI so long? If we're doing something wrong, why haven't the FBI done their job? That's what he said. And then that was in 2015. And then in 2016, when the raid happened, he was talking completely different, man, in front of the damn 1941 Madison Avenue in Harlem, man. That was in 2016, November 1st. It was crazy.
Mm.
And Sonetta was right out there, man. They caught the whole thing. Then later on, the Tazadaki on the Comforter.info, he posted the video of him saying, this was what's supposed to happen. I've been waiting for this. All of
Mm.
that. Talking shit. But yeah.
But yeah,
Thanks
but
for coming on, man. Thanks for speaking about your experience, because you're somebody that was there, you know, when all this shit was going on back in the days, man. Appreciate you. But but yeah, man, I've been going on for about an hour and 45 minutes. I want to thank everybody for coming on. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna stay on. It's been a minute. Appreciate it. Give this video a thumbs up. San Miguel TV, man. ICGJC is unknown. They're falling apart. They're gonna keep falling. You know, what more can I say?
my,
The
my
ICGJC is
apologies. I
gone.
keep hitting it wrong.
Nah,
My
you
bad. You
good.
were saying thanks for speaking. You said
Yeah,
thanks for
yeah,
speaking for
yeah,
your experience.
yeah. Because you were already, like you were there before, and we're talking about people
Yeah.
that know about this stuff, and there's a whole backstory to these things that people don't even care to know about. It's strange how they keep that away
That
from
to me is
members.
that's
Yeah,
very important right there. You
yeah, it
should, before
is.
you
It
join
is.
anything, you should, like, for me, common sense. Here's what comment, like, that gives me chills saying it. Like, if I was a younger person, I would I would ask, like, these guys was actually there. You know what I mean? At one point, I want to know what they got to say. I want to balance things out instead of being one-sided and just listen to the cult. Because
Right.
the guy, they seem, they're still here. Ain't no bus hit them. You know what I mean? They seem logical. They can rationalize. They're transparent. I would want to see, what's this like? What was it? You know what I mean? I would want to get at that person. Is what I'm trying to say before I join anything. Like, let's say gym memberships. I want to know what do you guys have to offer? You know what I mean? What kind of
Right.
amenities do you have? So
Right.
me joining that organization, I want to know the background of it, like, because I'm seeing you guys, y'all have these figures. What is these dudes talking about? Some dude said that Jesus was going to return in the year 2000. What are they talking about? And y'all still believe that guy right there? He got a 12 tribe chart. Y'all still y'all believe that? I just want to know,
Crazy.
because if you believe that, like, then I'm gonna have to hold you to that shit. You know what I mean? That came from a false prophet, according to the book. Y'all believe in the book, right? The book say right here, but I don't know, man. I'm just kind of just.
And some of these members, like, I had a good conversation with Asaph. I can't wait to post this shit. He actually was the only one showing me respect. Some of these other cats in IUIC are talking reckless and crazy, and they didn't even give me, a chance to respond to something and that's fine. But I know the way they did it. They just say a bunch of shit, and then just when I try to respond, they just threw me off pretty much. And Asaph had to tell them later, like, when he comes on, let him talk. Don't be disrespectful, and make sure that you be respectful to him. I'm gonna post all that shit.
No,
It
that's
was a
good.
good
Yeah, because
conversation, but we can have our disagreements, but don't lie
that's
to
what I
me and
don't
tell
like.
me that, call me a demon because I'm calling out, shit that's obvious. It's crazy.
No, yeah, I don't like that. Let's be
Like, come on,
men.
man. The
All that,
raid, when the raid happened, like, that was a thing that he was saying wasn't gonna happen. Why hasn't anything happened yet if they don't have anything? And it's obvious that, you're trying to just talk shit. He claimed that he didn't understand that he had to pay taxes or whatever, but he knew what he was doing. They can prove that he created a false entertainment business that was not making any money. Everything was being siphoned through the members' tithe money, pretty much the treasury. That's why they had everything done on paper, man. So or with money, with cash, so they don't create a paper trail, that's easily traceable, like when you're paying checks, when you're paying through your bank account. All you have is just money being taken out of your account, and then you got cash, and you got to pay tithes with cash. That's how it always was. But now that they were indicted and it was, proven true, and now the part of the deal, the plea deal, was that the IRS had to put him, like, on some type of notification, like they had to report. Everything had to be done officially now, where it's no longer done on just cash, paying your tithes and just cash. It used to be a cash system originally. Now it's not anymore because of this guilty indictment and everything. These people aren't even talking about none of that. They're not being honest about anything that we're reading. That's official document that you could pull up when you go on justice.gov. The ICGJC, Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ, is a major scam. I don't know how people are still being recruited into that shit. It's crazy.
It's annoying. What's annoying is that, like you just said, the honesty. It's annoying. Like, let's address these things. You think we're lying? That shit is annoying because you're just being dishonest. Let's be men. Stop. Like, what do I mean when I say let's be men? Let's be honest men. Let's be honest about the situation.
Yeah.
Stop. As a man, take yourself out of the delusion. If you can, and just be
Yeah.
honest with yourself. In other words, that dude that died. I don't mean to say it like this, but I mean, fuck that dude and fuck these dudes, and be honest with yourself and look at what's happened. Period.
Right.
You think they're just lying, making up shit because, oh, they're the devil and they're the Antichrist and the Bible is right about. Yeah, stop that shit. You're not being honest with yourself. Stop that shit.
Yeah. We know we're not going to be biased. Like I'm being honest. Obviously, if you're in this group already, it's a bad mistake to join a group and then now you have to protect every little thing that happens in the group. You have to defend it. It's like that doesn't make any sense. Like you can do that in certain situations, but why do you have to do that for a group and a follower that's supposed to be righteous? You have to now excuse certain things that he was doing and just write it off as, oh, it's nothing.
Yeah, that's
It doesn't make sense,
the ISUPK does that shit. It's the same. They operate the same, like if not worse, just like ICGJC. That's that cult shit. We are the group. We are the home of the truth. We never left, and Ariel and them left. It's stupid. But what I'm trying to say is that they try to mop that shit up, and you end up making yourself look foolish.
Oh, yeah. But
it's stupid.
It's something. There's a lot to the different, like if you want to talk about the ICGJC, it's like nobody wants to talk about that, of course, because they're like the nobodies of this community, and everybody writes them off. But that should actually be a perfect example to IUIC and people of other groups to show how what these people were trying to say is the truth later turned into, even if you want to say it was the truth at some point, it got corrupted. So how could God let something that's supposedly the truth get corrupted when it's supposed to be the rejuvenation of the whole nation of Israel, and the coming back and the coming together of the bones and the sinews in Ezekiel and all of that? And it's supposed to be there's not supposed to be anything hindering. And the ICGJC, it's obvious that they've been constantly saying that there's videos, man, classes where Tazadaki is teaching, and he's saying that the Satan is hindering us, that we were trying to do something and Satan hindered this shit, which is crazy to say that, you're giving so much power to the enemy constantly and keeping it like this battle, this ongoing battle, when it's like, if you are who you say that you are, then do what you're supposed to be doing. And the ICGJC is like, it started to grow, and then all of a sudden it became nothing. It became the only people that's actually talking about anything related to the ICGJC is us. Anything that's relevant, because these cats aren't really making any noise.
We got an agent that just came in.
Agent Ford is back on the scene. Chaos Agent Ford. Yep, as we all are, brother. We're spies that came in there to grab the inside information. We couldn't cut it past the rigorous, strenuous program that weeds out all infiltrators and demons. We just couldn't make the cut, brother. So here we are.
Mm-hmm.
That's the excuse too. Even if you decide to leave on your own, the Lord still puts you out. Like, you can't win with these dudes. Like, all right, I left on my own. No, the Lord put you out, brother. Well, weren't y'all calling me, asking me when am I coming into council, or when I'm going to report to New York? So,
right.
Last time I checked, dang, I stopped calling y'all before you stopped calling me. So, yeah, it's just. Brother, I just don't know what to say at this point. It's a crazy night.
There was a time when they were getting real desperate, and this was after the radio show where he was going crazy for like 2 hours. He started emailing people, calling people that were suspended indefinitely. Remember, if you get suspended indefinitely, you
done.
Can't come around. You can't come to the classes. And some people will still keep in contact and be cool with everybody and still believe, but they weren't allowed to come into the nation and the ranking structure and all of that. Like that was that type of stuff going on too, just like a cult.
Yeah, well, really and definitely, yeah, that meant till further notice. If you were put out forever or excommunicated, Yeah, that was your to the lake of fire you go and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, that time out with most people, they start realizing when they start calling people back, people's like, man, I'm done. I done had a chance to let my mind clear up and really see what's what. I done did some digging into this case and all that, and I'm
Right.
not coming back in that place. And he realized, and that's where they realized, like, yeah, those people that's been out for some time and they dumb enough to come back. Yeah, those are the ones we got. Because I mean, you have had some people go back in that place. Then, like
Right.
I keep telling people, some people that came out of that place and they never left the place. They still hold on to. Like, I'm not knocking those that are looking at the theory that you might be descendants of the Israelites. I'm not knocking that overall. But it's just like, brother, when you're so sure, and brother, we're just waiting for this, and you see how this is lining up and all that, I'm gonna tell you, man, get out of here with all that, bro. That's regurgitated, stolen doctrine you done took from them damn niggas that taught us in New York. Period.
What Chief Priest? I'm gonna need you to dialogue with my brother Deacon Hakah, Priest Hakah, brother.
It's Agent Fort, so you have to be willing to deal with Agent.
He said, "Get it right as Agent for you." Wild, man.
Agent. Priest, damn Hakai. Which one is that? I'm trying to remember which group and which alphabet camp.
He was with Alazar Sakari. That's my bro. I love him, man. I love my brothers in these camps, man. But I just don't like, I don't believe like you believe,
I would be wrong to say I just say when I just don't really give no camp brothers the time of day. I don't care whether you ISBHPK,
No, I understand all.
Sakari with the dagger in it, Sakari, damn ATL, damn Wi-Fi Israelites. Like it's like, brother, I was playing with this stuff when these dudes was out doing whatever. Now there's some Johnny come lately dudes. It's like most of these dudes that's in these camps have no more than like 10, 12 years in this stuff. And they think they're experts on the Bible. Like I watched all them guerrilla Hebrews and Deacon damn this and all that. I'm like, brother, even a lot of them IUIC dudes is only going on like 10, 12 years. I'm talking they're high-ranking men are like pushing now like 12 years of coming into this quote-unquote knowledge. Just like you brothers really don't know nothing. Y'all just got a lot of gas in the tank right now, but just no knowledge, no tread on the road as far as the doctrine y'all pushing. Oh yeah. I really wouldn't play with no Sakari dudes. It's like, brother, you used to follow who?
I had my conversations with them before.
They can flip that script too. With them. But I just know where they at. It's like, bro, I'm not gonna play with damn gangbangers with the Bible, bro. That's just what it is.
Right. Gangbanging Israelites.
Them and ISUBK, I ain't gonna call them again. Sakari was more on the gangbanger look tip. ISUBK, them is just thug niggas with the Bible. This is a difference.
They don't answer questions. They avoid questions. They want to ask you what's the answers. You tell me the answer.
Yeah,
I don't like when it's like that. The onus is on you. You're making these claims. You believe this. I'm honest enough to say I don't know. I believe I'm an Israelite, but in reality, I don't really know that. It is faith-based. You know what I'm saying? But that's where that's my spirituality with my higher power is more than just me being an Israelite, though. You know what I mean?
My thing, I still ask brothers, what's the benefit of that? All right, you being a descendant of one of the children of Israel, what is your benefit you get out of that? And I'm just speaking in general. That's the question I would ask. Like, what is the real benefit of that? Especially if now that you see it's not the movement and revolution that you thought it was going to be.
Yeah, we were being taught that it was going to be some type of big revolution and
that's
everybody
what I
was going to know. Like, these are so many failed prophecies that we could go back to year after year. Like, disconfirmed expectations just not being met. You're being lied to. Your money's going, you don't even know where because there's no paper trail purposely made that way.
Yeah, I'm about to play something for y'all real quick. I hope y'all can hear. Let me see.
Bring it out.
Yeah, it's one of them groups too. Because
Just like what you said, like if you're not thinking this way, I have to pull y'all up on the laptop. Let me see. Can I
While you finding that, San Miguel, you ain't on your water. You on that fire water, ain't you?
No.
I'm gonna pull this up.
What is that?
I'm pouring that.
This is
That's
IUIC.
coconut water. Iberia coconut water.
What is that? The coconut water? Yeah, look at you. Yeah, I was looking for that earlier today, man. I couldn't find none.
This is an IUIC clip.
And bring it out, Agent.
If you're not thinking this way, and I'm just show you how much falsehood is up in this. But if you're not thinking this way, it's like, why even hold on to this? So I'm just let y'all listen.
Ways of their God. Who they God gonna be? We gonna be their gods. The Israelite men set all throughout the earth and beyond earth gonna be the gods of whatever territory they're assigned to. That city, that 5 cities, that 10 cities. Who's the God of them cities? The Israelite man that God sent over there, that Christ sent over there. They're gonna have to worship that man as God. And we will walk in the name of the Lord our God. We're gonna walk in the way of our God. They're gonna call us God, and we're gonna walk in the way of our God. So don't worry about the state that you're in right now. You got an evil woman right now. Your wife don't want to get in order. In the kingdom of heaven, you're gonna have plenty women. Isaiah 4:1. So don't worry about that woman right now. Worry about the ones that's to come, and they're all gonna be bad. Bad to the bone.
That's your IUIC. See, that's the message. So if you ain't waiting on that, what's the purpose? That was just total falsehood. He just sold them dudes right there. You're gonna have, don't worry about the wife that don't want to get right. You're gonna have several women. They all gonna be bad to the bone.
In that day.
That's what I'm saying. And now the Israelite man is going to be worshipped as a god versus the Most High God. Where did that come in? And that's what brothers is listening to. So I just don't see the point upon that. Like people is really
He trying to give them hope, man. If your woman just rebellious and evil and wicked,
but you're lying.
He trying to use the Bible to give them hope.
You're lying to him though.
Look,
the hell you give him hope? You lying to your brother.
Like nigga, you don't know what the hell.
That woman,
you don't know what you're talking about.
You gonna be with her until she leave you, or you leave her, or y'all work it out. That's what I'm saying. It's hopium is what that is. It's like, brother, that's not real.
What was y'all's understanding in ICGJC? Like, because the doctrine was changing from ICUPK. So, like, were y'all still believing like in polygamy?
Oh yeah, that was being practiced heavily up in there.
I mean, because you see how IUIC didn't change it up, you know?
Yeah.
That brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Everybody get that, right? That means
everybody got that, right?
This is going to overshadow it. Something else is going to happen that is going to be talked about where this is not going to be talked about anymore. So it's going to be 1 year we have Passover, and the very next year we're going to be talking about this. This is what the Lord is telling us. That year is actually in 20. Everybody understand that?
Gone.
Ooh. Come on, man.
It's a wrap.
Come on.
That is a wrap at that point.
He also was saying one time, now if these people out here in the world have the wisdom of God, they always looking for the fountain of youth and whatever. If they had the wisdom of God, how come they didn't figure out how to live forever yet?
Right.
He said, and then he said, where are you learning this wisdom? He's talking about the University of the 144,000 before it even existed, and it never existed.
Yeah.
And he was talking about it as if we're going to receive everlasting life, the knowledge of how to live forever, by going to this university of 144,000. It's crazy. This is what he said. Look, listen.
Now go and do your research. Now they got the wisdom of God. How come they ain't figure out how to live forever yet? What they need to do and what it takes to have life eternal. If they got the wisdom of God, what university is teaching that? Besides one. There's a university of the 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
What? Where?
Yeah.
Where?
In Philly, brother. They turned the Shield building. It's going to be the new school, 144,000.
Nah, brother, 1941, brother. You going off.
You're not, listen,
Yeah, you know,
you're
you
not
might
going
be
to learn
right
it in
on it.
Yale.
Sloppy.
You're not going to learn it in Harvard.
Stand
You're not
corrected,
going to
brother.
learn it in Princeton.
Brother
You're
Lewis,
gonna
bring
learn
up this
it in
new
the
understanding. We have to
university.
raise you up to a bishop, brother.
You're gonna
That's
learn it in
right.
the University of the 144,000 how to live forever.
Yeah, we're supposed to learn the order of the apothecary up in there, languages, history. It's pretty much just going to be a damn Hebrew Academy 2.0 with a much higher tuition fee.
I'm gonna keep that shit.
You know, we've got to pay tuition up in there too, right? There was no scholarships to get into the school of 144,000. That was
they were trying to charge
all out of pocket.
tuition, man. They were trying to charge. Yeah, they were going to charge for tuition, and he said that it's not going to be cheap.
Oh yeah, he showed it too.
He literally said it's not going to be cheap.
Not going to be cheap. He said you're going to pay.
You're going to have to pay
Esau tens of thousands of dollars.
Oh my God.
That was what they always used to like. Like Esau was the scum of the earth until it's time to say, "You'll do this for the white man. You do this for the white man." It's like,
right,
brother. That's yeah. Like I said, the mind fuck was real, boy.
You know, he's right. We gotta buy the truth and sell it not.
But yeah, what you were saying, yeah, polygamy was still practiced up in there. That was pretty heavy. That's why IUIC seen the damage that was doing, and they was smart enough to say, like, no, we're gonna X that out.
Polygyny, though. Polygyny.
Oh yeah, because it was like I said. I mean, how are you in the church and you damn end up coming up back with the claps and all types of stuff in the church? Married man catching STDs in the church.
Yeah.
Well, when I was in ICGJC, ICUPK, see, this shit is getting so damn old. You know what I mean? Like, that's 27 years ago. But when I was a young man at 18, 19 years old in ICUPK, I didn't have a rib. I didn't have a wife. And so a brother, one of my higher ranker brothers, which would have been my elder, but he was still in his 20s. Anyway, he pulled the book out and he gave me a scripture and was like, see, look, brother, you can go get you a harlot, man. You know, now in my spirit, I knew that wasn't right, but I'm putting it off on the elders. You know, I got permission. You know what I'm saying? So what did I do? I mean, I'm ashamed of it, but I went and got me a prostitute, man. And I remember telling her, you know, the Lord said I could do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to justify this shit while I'm, you know what I mean?
Your Patreon and all that. Tell some.
I ain't got all. I ain't got all that, man.
No, brother, you can't throw that on the elders. No, bro, that was all on you, brother. It ain't like he gave you the money to go and pay for some poom poom, brother. That was all on you right there. Bro.
No, absolutely, but that's somewhere in here it say a man's mind will want to tell him more than 7 men on a high tower. I'm paraphrasing, something like that.
I don't know how that relates to buying some poom poom.
So my inner man, my conscience knew, but I'm just like, you know what? No, we're going to block that out. We in the truth. You know what I'm saying? I got permission, but I knew my higher power is like, good and damn well, you can't justify this shit right here, man. You know, but
your emotion became your God at the time. That's what I be telling people. Your whatever you feel like doing is your God. People need to stop playing with themselves.
Just the elders. Yeah, everybody was doing it. Yeah, if the elders gave it an okay, it became like the law.
They was having the brothers sit down and watch porn in ISUPK.
There's no law against it, right? I don't know.
In their Hebrew academies, ISUPK was sitting and watching porn in their early years.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, when Johanna was over the branch and all that, they was doing all that stuff. This is stuff you find out later, and you're like, damn, what the hell am I in? And look at the roots of all this. Just like the brother was saying, how is something that's supposed to be the revival of this nation in exile end up becoming so corrupted, where it twists the people even more than they were before they came up in there?
Right.
And you're trying to really justify this stuff. Like I said, you're just playing with delusion. Because if you play with delusion too long, that's when you do start to believe it. Some of them people really are starting to like separate from reality that's still up in there now, if they haven't already. That's the only way I can give them some slack for still being in there. Like, you've really truly lost your mind up in that place. Like,
you have a strong delusion that you believe a lie. Yeah. You literally have a strong delusion, and like you. Here's my take. Now I don't know what y'all. I don't know where y'all stand at in your spiritual walk, but I still believe in the Messiah in the New Testament. So what I came to realize is that these guys aren't really trying to follow this Messiah. These guys are going back to the old covenant, and they're looking up. Boom, boom. See, Judah did it, and and now somebody spilled their seed and they got killed. So don't spill your seed. But you wasn't pushing, they're not following after the anointed savior, because I mean, he gave us the blueprint of to even look upon a woman it's as if you done it. I'm just saying, they
follow this deity they made up called Yahweh Shai and Yahweh and all that. That's who they worship. The deity they made up. That's what I'm saying. It's not damn to mock dang Jesus Christ and the Messiah, like you're saying, but these names and deities that they read to you out the Bible, these are new gods they created. Because the Christ that you read about in the Bible did not send some dude named Jermaine Grant, aka the God sent comforter. No, so this is a made up fictional deity y'all made up. And thrown yourselves in the mix too. You've made a multiverse Bible. What you're reading is not what you're fulfilling. That's something totally different what you're reading and what you think you're fulfilling. So it's a different God they worship. You just have to accept it. Like that. That's why I say that. Them people don't believe in God, not the God of the Bible. We can go now, there. They don't. That verse we began with in Deuteronomy.
They don't really it's too Christian, but put Christianity aside. When you go into these texts, it's like you've put off like this the love aspect, being kind, being meek, being humble, using wisdom, having discretion. You like Exodus 15 verse 3, read. The Lord is a man of war. See, what this brother's talking about is that old faggot Christianity. Nah, bro, I'm talking about what it say in here. You know what I'm saying? Like it say that in there. Be kind, be gentle, love your brother. I don't even think these niggas love themselves.
That's more of my point. They're not worshiping the God that you're reading that's telling you use compassion. Try and gain your brother back to repentance if you see him going off. None of that. They worship something totally different. But will lie because they have a Bible in their hand. I mean, worse than these churches. Because a lot of them dudes, I think, strongly know that they got caught up in something that misery loves company. They don't know where else to go. So it's like justifying them staying in there when they see one straggler that got mental issues, abuse issues, and all that, and that done found their way into that cult. Listen to them brothers like their brothers. I mean, when I was on my way out, the type of people that started coming in there all had like real issues. Where me and some brothers were saying, like, how come we don't get normal brothers and sisters that come up in here no more, man? Everyone come in there homeless or just got off drugs, and it's just like, brother, you're not even in a position to help yourself versus come in, help with this work. If you come in and join the ranks, this is just going to destroy your life. Like, you'll never get ahead if you join the ranks up in here. Like, brother, you don't even got a place to stay right now. And we're telling you, if you get some money, come in here and you still got drop damn 20% tights. Like, how are you collecting tights from someone that, no, well, they will quote that one on you. Remember the poor widow that gave the 2 mites? Yeah, if you homeless, brother, you got to pay tights on that too. Crazy work.
They didn't encourage us to, back in the late 90s. Because remember, Yahushua Hamashiach was going to return. They didn't encourage us to like better ourselves as young men, preparing us for the world. Now, my father is still in my life, my dad. And, you know, he did hot tile roofing for 30 years. And I did that, you know what I'm saying, during that time. That's how I was paying my tithes to them. But, you know, my dad couldn't he's like, make it make sense. Like, he didn't understand, you know, I'm in this cult, but he didn't understand, like, there was no backup plan. So you had people, you know, selling everything, running up their credit. I'm a young man. I mean, logically, like my son, if he was still alive today, he would be 20 years old. I would be encouraging him to do something better than, you know, like to do something with his life. But when you're in there, that is it, you know, and anything outside of that is of the world. And it's just crazy. Like, they set you up for failure, man. I can't speak about, you know, the new camps today, but I'm speaking in the past. You know, I made a lot of horrible decisions. I mean, but I will say though that like getting it there was good in the cult. There was good in it. You know, I got in my book, and I'm still a believer. I like a lot of stuff in there, like wisdom. You know, like there's wisdom in there, Proverbs, Psalms. You know, that stuff is good, but I don't like get caught up into the, like, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, man, what you got up on the screen, Miguel?
That old indictment.
Bring it out.
Yeah, that's the indictment. Has hit the screen.
Am I out of order? Can I call you Miguel, or do I have to put the sand before it? You gonna take me to counsel? Man, I've been killing these waters because I've been sick. Mr. Ford, what's your stance? Do you still believe like in like the power, the power of the God of the book? I'm just curious.
Yes. I just believe that the understanding is distorted throughout the translations, though.
Right on.
Even when you go into Christ and all that, because you go into a lot of other faiths and all that, they have a high power and then they have like a sub power in even a lot of different faiths. So I still look at that could have been their interpretation of the Father in the Son. It's just in different lingos, mixed in different stories and all that type of stuff. But I can't just subscribe to the teachings of what we got after we got off the boat. And when you go back into history, especially, I just discussed it last time, our descendants was not dealing with the Bible like that pre-slavery. The Latino tribes damn sure was not dealing with the Bible pre-colonialism. That's just facts. So for you to be so attached to those records, you would have to say, you know what? Thank you for colonization and slavery, because this is how I got connected to the power. So if it was meant to happen that way, okay, more power to you. But if you got a chip on your shoulder because of what happened to you, what you tripping for? This is how you got your keys to salvation. So I don't think it's dry.
You need to go on Sarnetter's channel, man.
Yeah, Sarnetter got some stuff.
Nah, he need to go on. Yeah, no, because I mean, you know, you was a part of the original. You know what I'm saying? That's a flex to all the other groups out here. Not that it fucking matters, but that's a flex. You know what I mean? You a part of the original, but they're gonna make the argument and say, no, that's a Christian Israelite group.
Yeah, but
that's what they say now.
They can't argue with that. They already know at one point that ICJC was the original ones anyway, though. So, and then I was there 2001, so I was there even before Taz made a lot of them changes. That's why I did.
Yeah.
I was Shies and all that stuff. I was there when it was called ICUPK.
Right.
And the name change came like 2002. We changed it to the Israelite Church of God in and Jesus Christ.
Right.
And then like a year later, we changed it to Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ.
Right.
And Tyles brought that
Remember
old
that.
terrible understanding that sounded so deep at the damn time. Yeah, it was just all, like I said, gradualism. When you go into that, this was all psychology. This was a damn psyop on ignorant young minorities, mostly in the hood, that didn't know much. And we had just some elders that damn came with some damn hocus pocus, mystical doctrine, and hoodwinked a gang of people, man, that really didn't know nothing. That's why you were brought into something where you really could not challenge them. They acted like they were open to dialogue and questions.
Yeah.
But at first, you're asking out of curiosity and really coming humble, trying to understand.
I was always in the church like this. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, after a while, they would leave, you know what I'm saying? Just leave me my arm would be up. You know what I mean? Because I'm constantly asking questions. I wanted some answers. Like, you know, you seem like you got all the answers. So like, I want to know, like, as we're reading in here, I mean, I was a kid, 18. I'm like, so you're saying Yahushua gonna return. So, I mean, like, what if, like, break it down? Cause you got all the answers. Like, you know what you're talking about. I'm like, what if I'm in the shower or something? You know what I mean? Like, break that down for me. You know, I got a roof over my head. You know what I mean? Like, how does that work? Does the roof like break that down for me? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was that guy always like this. Like, I want to fucking know. I want to keep picking your, like, how you come like you got all the answers. You know, and I'm being sincere when I'm asking.
We're just gonna shackles of iron and chains is gonna show up in our hands, and we're just gonna start throwing this over white people at random, pretty much too, and just hauling them off to where we haul them to the flying saucer first, and then go over to Israel. Or make this make sense?
Well, brother, we know the part we prophesy part.
I don't see people carrying two-edged swords in their hands anymore in these chains to bind their king. So what does that symbolize? Right. We don't see people go to war on horse buggy and chariots anymore that you read in Revelation that says it's going to be a feast of the fowls where they're going to be eating at these corpses of horses that's been slain and all that. I don't see horse and buggy in these modern wars anymore. And you can't tell me that sounds symbolic. Well, that's some of the Humvees and the Jeeps. No, it's not, brother. You're playing games. It's just and stop going off delusion, man. People are afraid. People are really afraid to just live their life and acknowledge the unknown. We just don't know, bro. We know there's something. We know there's a decency, a natural decency that's in most humans that actually has them cordial, them compassionate, wanting to get along and all that, friendly. Most people. Until you start listening to this subculture shit that's going on and all that stuff will have you go into what people say is a demon and all that. That's a whole nother dang topic. But most people have this stuff up in them. And people are just playing with this stuff at this point. The whole unknown stuff.
They also said that he went to Israel and he couldn't prove that he ever went to Israel, and that should be something that's easy to do. You know, which he said that he would do. You know, and this is something that adds some type of mysticism to your claim. And he went to Israel and he learned some shit. Like, you know, that's crazy that he would make that claim. Like he can't just wake up one day in Harlem or wherever the hell he was at, and this wisdom can't come to him there. So the fact that he put his claim in a location where you could easily prove or disprove that if you've never traveled,
man, that's whack.
If you've never been there.
That's exactly what he did. Just like when he was in Israel and he was in Florida shooting all that stuff. When we thought he was in Haiti, and this fool was in the slums of Miami real quick, then went
he was in little Haiti
encampment in damn Miami as he was damn getting ready. Yeah, that was crazy. But it's like you had, I just gotta say, I'm sorry, you had niggas that damn was pushing behind that. The video department knew
the video
that this
department.
dude was not in the areas that he said he was in.
Crazy.
And everyone was scared to be a whistleblower. It's like
Damn.
the people that wasn't even closest to him, they weren't the ones that came out and said this dude's corrupt. That's kind of what's insulting, where it's like there was ones that seen blatant corruption and just couldn't say, like, man, this ain't God right here. What are we doing?
Right.
That's the messed up part. That's why it took some of us so long, because it was lower ranking, lower level brothers like Rebel Alliance and then that first started speaking against it. And we ain't taking these dudes seriously because we thinking like, brother, y'all ain't even close enough to know what's going on.
And they didn't have all that evidence of what came out later,
But what we did
it was before the raid.
And what we didn't know is they were in communication with certain men that was closer to ties that had just abruptly left and stopped being a part of church. Like, there's one brother, Shapar Amath, he used to be heavy up on that Holy Conception site. You had a few brothers that when he tried to come with that comforter stuff, it's like, oh, we see where this is going. This is Black Jim Jones 2.0. We're not staying around for this stuff. This is Yahweh Ben Yahweh Jr. in the making.
That part. I got videos of like I know a video still out on YouTube where brothers was like considered to be the rebels and talking up against that.
Yeah. I mean, some of those younger groups was speaking against it early. But I ain't gonna lie, when we first came out, some of them brothers wouldn't even want to speak against it. They were scared to say something because they're so mystified with these doctrines, they don't really know. They had to step back like, dang.
I couldn't understand how they were, one of my elders that had higher rank when I was in the church. It was like you're trying to persuade me. Like, you see this right where they used to say he's the comforter. I'm just like you're trying too hard, and I don't like that shit. Exactly. You're trying to persuade me. I just don't like that shit. I like the how do you say it? Like, I like to be able to think for myself. I don't like you trying to persuade me to what I mean, I don't play that shit, man. I don't like that.
Like when you first read the twisted understanding we had in Deuteronomy 28 and 68, that kind of fits together where you're like, man, I can kind of see that pretty easily. That stuff, you always had to stretch and bend and really force that to be in there. Because people feel like he does not necessarily mean he as in a specific man. And then there's a scripture you read in the book of Acts when they ask, had the Holy Spirit come? And they said right there, no, he has not come yet, but he will come shortly. And then they got the Holy Spirit like a week later. So it's like, it's just showing you that he is a reference to the Holy Spirit, not a man. But like I said, you can't tell them brothers that. Because now they'll definitely say, well, the Holy Spirit is not a man, brother. He's no longer here with us, but his spirit is. They're just like, okay.
The whole doctrine's got to change now, of course.
So, I mean, they can push that now if they wanted to. Yep, the Lord had to destroy his flesh. They'll come with something. The Lord had to destroy his flesh so the spirit can be released amongst all of us, brother. It's like, all right, brother, that's nowhere written, but
you're not being fucking delusional and stupid like us. That's that's the only logic I can think. You're not being fucking delusional or stupid like us. So whatever you gotta say, because it's of no importance. You guys are rebels. You guys are antichrist. You're a branch that fell off. You're dead. So anything that you say is not important. We're not gonna logically hear what the fuck you gotta say because we're fucking stupid. I don't know how to cut it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, just to bring it on back, this is November 1st. Well, I guess it's about to be November 2nd. 9 years after the raid, they were trying to make a big deal out of it because this was supposed to be like the big confrontation where the beast comes against the church.
Exactly.
You know, it's supposed to be coming against the nation of Israel, God versus Satan. And it's like this you couldn't write this script even better than what it turned out to be. How this guy ended up dying, and he was teaching that in this university of 144,000, you were going to learn how to live forever. You were going to get the wisdom of God and have eternal life from a university, you know, and then he ends up dying himself. Come on, man. You can't write this a better script than this. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a night, man. It's gotten a little bit late. I appreciate y'all brothers coming through. I'm glad y'all got to speak your point, and speak from experience and from history. But yeah, man, any last words? No. Any last words, anybody? I'm gonna holler at y'all later.
All right, brothers. All right. Just coming out, salute out. Had to go and smash something real quick. Definitely good coming on.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
Another one.
You know, we're supposed to be the rebels that destroyed, and you know, we're over here speaking against the ICGJC till this day. 9 years later from the raid, they still can't recover. They're obsolete, you know, unknown. And if it wasn't for us speaking about it, nobody would be speaking about them.
Change the name to Chaos. Chaos Media is when we had to the Chaos Agency.
Right.
Yeah. But all right, brothers. Salute out.
Sir. Peace out. Have a good one. San Miguel TV out. Peace.